Hello, hello, and welcome to yet another Q&A Thursday where we're switching it up because, hey, Levi's out at Mobile Tech Expo, and, you know, we're left behind. We're feeling a little sad without our buddy, but, you know, change the scenery helps sometimes, get you rejuvenated, pick things up. What do you think, Anthony?
Couldn't agree more, Dane.
Yeah.
This is an exciting day, right? Because again, we have to hold our own. Just the two of us, right? So I have to maybe grab some of Levi's personality and behavior and bring it to the table.
Oh, okay.
What do you think?
Well, I'm wearing the hat, to make sure somebody is. You got the glasses.
Can you bend that hat a little bit?
Bend that hat? I like this hat. I don't want to bend it. Oh, do that goofy. Yeah, there you go. That's the Levi way.
That's the Levi look. So, so they're at Mobile Tech right now, having a fantastic time. So it's him, John, Josh, and Juan, and they're down there representing the Rag Company for the Mobile Tech Expo and also teaching some classes as well down there. So if you're at Mobile Tech right now, then what are you doing watching this, right? Yeah. You got us in person. Go enjoy, but if you're not at Mobile Tech, then you can hang out with us for Q&A Thursday today. So a couple cool things we're doing today that's different than what we normally do is I'm going to be giving you an IK Foam Pro 2 Plus demonstration on Dane's Jag behind me. I thought this would be a fun time to do it live, right?
This is still a Q&A, but we just thought we'd mix it up a little bit, give you a live demo in the process. So this is much more Q&A than demo, but there will be some demo because not all of you probably saw what we did on Instagram yesterday. I mean, there was definitely a cool demo we did with the Razor, but now we're kind of mixing it up. We got my car back there, and I just want to put this out for everybody. If you see my front splitter and you think, gee, that looks a little banged up, don't worry, I know it's not real carbon fiber. It's just plastic. It's about 40 bucks. I'm going to replace it. But my new driveway ain't so kind, and it's cold, and it gets brittle. So that's what happens to plastic.
See that on the camera.
It's just my own little OCD thing. I can't stand people not understanding the context.
So I don't want to judge you.
I help you out. Yeah, don't think I'm a horrible driver just because it's all chewed up.
Yeah, that's only the third lip he's ever broken.
Started with these two.
We don't need to cover that now.
Yeah.
So what we're going to be doing is doing a live demonstration. So in front of me here, I have the new IK Foam Pro 2 Plus. We launched this yesterday, theragcompany.com and on Amazon. So it's available on both platforms if you want to pick one up for yourself. I think it was a great launch. I mean, overall, we have a lot of great feedback. A lot of people have been waiting for this addition to the Foam Pro 2 because they want to use their air compressor. So here in front of me, you can see I have the new Schrader valve, the air valve attachment. And so what does this mean really? So just to kind of cover some of the basics, right? So does this new version mean that your old version is bad or you need to trade up immediately? No, the Foam Pro 2 is still a fantastic sprayer.
I laugh every time I see those comments because I'm like, wait a second, you liked it before. It's just as good as when you liked it. It's just now that there's new shiny thing, sometimes people look at the previous thing with some kind of different light. No, it's the same. It's just as good.
Just as good. So this is just going to be easier for really for on-the-go spraying if you have a compressor because the fill time is incredibly fast.
That's just it. If you're in a hurry, this is the one to get.
And if you're running a shop or you already have air running, or if you're doing a detail and already have air handy, this would be a no-brainer to eventually move up to this if you have to replace your Foam Pro 2. The difference in price is about $10, and so it wasn't crazy. It wasn't like a $20 increase just because of the valve, but essentially what's been done is that the IK Foam Pro 2 has been reworked in the head unit specifically here to be able to accept the Schrader valve safely, right? I'm going to say safely, and then also still has the same Viton seals, but they've done a little bit more reinforcement within the bottle, especially the head, to be able to withstand that extra air pressure and be able to hold that. And so, what kind of benefit you would see from using air compressor with the new foamer would be a more consistent flow of air and really overall better chemical mixing, right? The output, the amount of pressure that you're spraying right off the bat each and every single time is always going to help clear out the line, meaning that your pattern is always going to be beautiful from using this, right, with a compressor. And you can hear the compressor going off in the background. So
that is the biggest thing I've noticed about these is you get out what you put in. If you put in compressed air, it comes out stronger than if you hand pumped it. Oh, it seems like there's a notable difference.
Yeah, no, it's pretty wild. And so whether you're using a soap, whether you're using an APC, a wheel cleaner, you're just going to notice a bigger difference. And because of the increased pressure on the output, right, you're also going to be able to take this, I don't want to say a grain of salt, but you can essentially increase your strength of your dilution for the cleaners that you're using.
Yeah.
So typically a recommendation for most APCs, wheel cleaners, interior cleaners, anything like that would be around 10 to 1. A soap would be around 34 to 1. But we're finding that even at a 5 to 1 dilution within this, the foam output is fantastic, and the higher strength of the chemical doesn't seem to be affecting the sprayer in the same way that hand pumping would. So,
so why don't we actually show them?
So anyway,
what's up with these?
Yeah, so you can still hand pump this thing. So taking a look here at Glenn, poor Glenn just tripped over.
There's so many wires and cords back there.
It's like we're in one of those vehicles in the Matrix movies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like traveling, is all these wires hanging, sparks flying. So all right, so here's our canister here, giving you a look around. The Schrader valve right there. You have your safety air release right here, and then you have, of course, your locking trigger. So click that to hit that safety, so you don't have any accidental discharge, because that's never fun.
No.
Opening up the sprayer. We are going to show you that today, for this demonstration, we are going to be using the standard foam. So the standard foam, meaning that the orifice that we're using is going to be the gray tip on the inside here. It does come with two other colors, the green and the orange. The green is going to produce dry foam. The orange is going to produce wet foam. The gray is kind of somewhere right in the middle. We're going to use the gray as just our kind of our standard for today. Even though I love the wet, the wet dwelling ability of the wet foam, but I also really like the clingy shaving cream foam of the green tip.
The dry stuff does cling better, but the wet stuff seems to permeate faster.
It has, it's better for what most detailers are going to want it for.
But dry works well in interiors. That's where you'd want to use it. You don't want to soak an interior.
No, we did a live video a couple weeks back on my seats on my car, where we actually utilized dry foam to show you that it doesn't overly saturate like a cloth interior.
Yeah.
Right? It's able to kind of let the foam sit on the surface, very shaving cream-like, to be able to agitate and hopefully lift and emulsify dirt, but not necessarily saturate the carpet.
Yeah.
So anyways, so here we go. Here's the head of it. Here's the base. The base is still going to be your standard Foam Pro 2 base. So if you have an existing Foam Pro 2, you can reuse this thing. And if you want to start throwing other chemicals into it, you can. We're still waiting eventually on a lid from IK that we can store some extra chemicals with, because that would be pretty nice. But in the meantime, I tell people you can grab a piece of tin foil and a rubber band. You can throw that on there. You can throw maybe a cap from something else to be able to store.
Treat it like a mason jar.
Treat it like a mason jar, whatever you want to do. So here we go. I'm going to start mixing this thing up. I already have the air on. Glenn's going to be following me with the camera. So we're going to go ahead and throw some water in here.
Yeah, because people want to see how you mix this up, because you always seem to get the best performance out of it. So show them exactly what you would do in your own home.
So I'm going to be going up to about, we're going to go to roughly, we're going to go to like roughly 40 something ounces of water inside here. So pouring this in.
Because you always have to leave room for air. People forget this. They just end up filling it to the top with product, and they're totally missing that actual point that it needs air to function.
So let's go ahead and see where we're at. So I am right exactly where we want to be here. So in terms of, there we go. So there's a 35 ounce mark right there. There's a 50 ounce mark. So we're somewhere kind of right in the middle. So from there, we're going to be adding our GSF. So this is just the soap I'm using. I feel like the Gentle Snow Foam just puts out really good foam, and it dilutes really, really well into water. And so when you start using clumpier soaps, you find that it can kind of start clogging lines and whatnot. So make sure you're mixing those well if you are using those. But I'll kind of show you what I do for GSF. So I'm going to do, if this cap here is about ½ an ounce, we're going to go about 1.5 ounces.
And GSF, as we all know, smells amazing. So nobody minds it being poured out here.
The second we crack it open, you can already start smelling the goodness of GSF. It's just an amazing smelling soap. But it's a pH balanced soap. I'm just gonna rinse my fingers off here in that water, and then get our lid on here. Twist it on like you normally would. Make sure you have a nice cinch on it. So what I like to do is turn it on and then give it a quick crank on my chest, and we are good to go. So for GSF, I like to give it a whirl, literally. Just kind of spin it like it's a mixed drink, right? Do you like the drinks shaken or stirred, Dane?
I like shaking.
Okay, well, yeah, I don't recommend doing that.
You know, I'm like poor man Bond over here, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I know, it is, right? Is that Aston Martin? No, but it's designed by the same
Ian
guy.
Callum had a hand
whatever,
in it.
man. It's not an Aston Martin. So, okay.
It's a lot cheaper.
All right, they ready to join me on this? All right. So
I'm just hanging out over here. You do the honor.
Okay, so we're going to be doing a couple different things today. So for this, I'm going to be showing you guys how much coverage you would get on one wheel, right, if I were to go really heavy. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to show you if you could knock out all 4 wheels on one charge. And then I am going to foam the side of Dane's Jag, even though I told him I wouldn't, just to kind of show you, how long you can spray for and what's considered a good amount of foam. Because a lot of people have different levels of what's considered a good amount of foam, right? There is the bare necessity of foam to be able to provide lubrication, be able to start providing a little bit of a dwelling ability to start loosening up contaminants, but then there's kind of overdoing it, right? In a lot of our videos that we do here at the Rag Company, we overdo it because visually it looks a lot better, and it just, it's fun, right?
It's a show, guys.
But ultimately, a lot of foam creates a mess, right? I'm that guy that will foam everything, and then I'll spend an extra 15 minutes trying to spray out all that foam I just created. And so really, when it comes to something that's this small, the idea is just to get the necessities on there, the bare minimum, to be able to provide the safety net that you're looking for, and then get to washing, right? But if you're looking to provide a lot more foam, especially out of a mobile sprayer, I'd recommend the IK Foam Pro 12, as that just makes a lot more sense. But for the Foam Pro 2 Plus, for wheels, for tires, for wheel wells, for knocking out smaller cars or motorcycles, it really doesn't get much better than this. So Glenn, follow me over here to my handy dandy air valve. So we're going to show you the fill time on this, right? So you guys know that these things take quite a bit of time to pump up. So on this, take that. Done. That fast. It's about was that about a second? What was that? All right, Dane, front wheel first, right?
Yeah, start with the front wheels.
All right, so front wheel first. Here we go. GSF Foam Pro 2 Plus. Let's get some coverage on here. Now, would you agree that that's a pretty good amount of foam, right?
That had some force behind it. You didn't have to go on very long at all to cover the whole thing. Those are 20-inch wheels for reference.
20-inch wheels, and if I was doing a detail and I'm doing wheel cleaning, that would be plenty of foam in my opinion, right? But if you really want to keep going, right, and keep adding a ton more, we can keep going, adding a ton more. I mean, if I'm knocking out barrels, if I'm knocking out tires, if I'm knocking out my lug areas. And so at this point, right, we're about the halfway liquid mark. Still have a little bit of air left, but it's starting to kind of dwindle. And at that point, right, I would just go back up and refill, or if you want a hand pump, you can, right? If I want to supplement some pumps in between and just get a little bit of air pressure in there, I could do that as well. So, coming back up, now we are at this is where I think it starts getting pretty good, because the second you reach about the 35-ounce mark, you have an almost equal amount of air to liquid in terms of the ratio, right? The more air you have, the longer it's going to spray for. That's just how this works.
That's just science.
So that's just science, right? So if we have room for air, that's the more capacity we're going to have. So I don't ever like to overfill these things. I see a lot of people online, they fill these up way past the 50-ounce mark, leaving little room for air, so their spray time is really no more than a couple seconds. Now that we're at that halfway point, we're going to start seeing a lot more output. The pressure is going to feel really, really good, and we're going to be able to spray for longer. And I think that the foam actually gets better too, the more air we have. So coming back over here, and the idea would be that if you have air, right, if you're running a cable, a 50-foot cable or whatever you're running, if you can keep it near you during this process and whatever you're using the foamer for, amazing. If that sounds like too much work, then typically, fill this up once, try to knock out all 4 wheels if you can in one shot, and go from there. So right here at the halfway point, I'm going to probably try to knock out all 4 wheels with what I would consider an adequate amount of foam to be able to do that. So here we go, filling up.
That was barely a second and a half.
It was pretty fast. So all 4 wheels, quick foam, once over, right? I'm not laying down multiple layers, I'm just doing it once over.
You could easily get 4 wheels doing that speed.
No camera magic here, just...
Remember, guys, this is all live. Anything could happen.
Anything.
I also don't recommend driving on those mats with studs in your tires, but I was very careful and did not turn or accelerate hard on there.
Good point, Dane. So that was all 4 wheels on one charge, right? Do I have anything left in the tank? Yes. I mean, I'm wasting foam at this point, but that's just the point, is that I could have probably knocked out another 2 wheels. Would my foam have been great or fantastic? No, but it would have gotten the job done. So now I have quite a bit more room for air inside here, meaning that I'm going to spray for longer. Foam's probably going to consistently get better. So here we go on a refill.
Once again, think about how many hand pumps you would do in a traditional pump sprayer versus what you just did there.
Yeah, so here on the wrap, I'm going to start spraying down the Jag here and kind of show you what I consider to be an adequate amount of foam for something of this size, right? You guys have to have the right expectations. People see this and they think, is that a foam cannon? No, this is a pressure sprayer. This isn't a full-on foam cannon replacement for a pressure washer, but this is going to work for mobile situations. This is going to work for enthusiasts. This is going to work for people in a pinch, maybe in an apartment environment that want to have some foam without all the extra stuff. And keep in mind, you can still hand pump this sprayer. You can still hand pump it and you're still going to get good results, but I just feel like the compressed air just seems to help mix things better and the output's just better. So let's go right here. Fender, putting an adequate amount of foam to be able to do the job. I would say that that's a good amount of foam. I have now foamed the fender. It's going to start to break down that dirt and provide lubrication. Door.
That spray pattern's pretty wide too.
I feel like that's a pretty good amount of foam to be able to get the job done. Windows up here. Pretty good amount of foam. And then the fender.
And I get it's different strokes for different folks, but at the same time, any complaints I ever hear from folks about, oh, it doesn't last long enough, chances are their expectations are just different, or they're using too much product, or they're expecting, it's just off from what you really need to get the job done.
Correct, yeah. So we'll do one more fill here. Actually, we'll just get through the rest of this liquid, and I'll go extra thick there on the door so you can see if I guess you really wanted to go as thick as possible, you can do it that way too. So here we go. Telling you, it's fast, man. Super fast. I mean, you're going to get roughly that same speed regardless of the compressor. We have a pretty big compressor unit, but I've taken this thing home. This is the same one we got from when we first launched this, or first received it back in SEMA, and I've taken it home. I brought it back here, taken it home, and so I've used it on my Husky Silent Flow, which doesn't have a crazy CFM, and it still fills up incredibly fast. And so, just
so a Pancake will do just fine.
So a Pancake would do just fine. It'd be loud and annoying, but it would get the job done. So let's go heavy on this door here, and let's show you what kind of foam we can create in terms of an actual, you know, for the people that are obsessed with foam.
It's like a painter just doing overlapping brush strokes. Wow, who drove the white car here?
So, in my opinion, I mean, do I have more left in the tank? I do. So I got quite a bit left. Keep going. But for a motorcycle or a small car, I mean, that's a couple refills, but I mean, you're going to get foam that you want. You're going to get good foam. At the end of the day, I still think that this is better than one of those damn hose foamers.
Oh, geez.
Because those hose foamers,
quote-unquote foam gun.
It's
not a foam cannon, it's a foam gun.
It's soapy water is what it is. So,
it's like a slingshot compared to an actual cannon in terms of...
Yeah, so I'm going to do one more run here.
Yeah.
And I think for this, what we'll do is I'm actually going to switch my unit over. and I'm going to use a different cartridge here.
Mixing it up.
Switch it up, and we're going to actually throw in, what do you guys think, Breakbuster, right?
Yeah, let's do some Breakbuster.
Breakbuster's a good
wheels
foamer.
And tires could probably use it.
All right, so I'm going to come over to my handy dandy shelf here. I'm going to pull a little bit of Breakbuster, not off this wall, because we don't, oh yeah, we do. I got some right here. We'll pretend that this is my gallon that I have.
Now, guys, gals, everybody watching right now, I know you weren't expecting a Q&A to have like a full demo built in at the beginning, but we thought it'd be just a fun way to mix things up, you know, with Levi gone. So if you missed the intro and all that, and you wonder why aren't they answering questions, don't worry, we will get to them. And I've got quite a few here, so Anthony, whenever.
So I am roughly at around 30 ounces on this right here, so pretty much that perfect spot. You really don't need more than 30 ounces if you're just doing a wheel cleaning.
Right.
Trust me on that. I mean, don't fill this all the way up with Breakbuster because you're going to waste product, right? And the more that sits,
everybody thinks you need more than you really
no, you
need.
don't. You're going to see how much Breakbuster I'm actually going to use here. So, setting this off to the side,
and
taking my
pint right there, but it's not even a full pint.
No, so 30 ounces right here. I'm going to eyeball this because I've done this just so many times. Mix that up.
You know when you have the right color.
Yeah, I've just done this enough times to where I can tell where my color is correct on this. We're pretty much...
We got a bunch of guys commenting Breakbuster one-to-one club.
So I'll actually, what I'll do, actually that's a good point. I'm going to mix this up a little bit thicker. Just because I know I said, hey, you can mix this up thicker.
Of course.
But this is how many times I've done this, guys. I've mixed Breakbuster in these IKs so many times that I can just look at the color and say, yeah, that looks about right. So taking the same head I was just using, right? Reusing the head I already had, throwing that on there. Give it a shake. Glenn, you want to join me? Somebody's going to have to rinse off your wheels, Dane, after I'm done.
Wait, the water's on, right?
No.
Oh, okay. That's
fine.
Cool.
It's fine. It's GSF.
I was going to say, it's GSF. That is a soap I actually trust to be okay.
So there we go, right? So we are roughly at, so if I was about the 30-ounce line, right? If I was about 30 ounces, I put about roughly 5 ounces of Breakbuster inside here. So, which would mean I'm roughly in that kind of 5-to-1, 6-to-1 area. All right, Breakbuster is known for its superior foam, so let's see if we can create some real shaving cream-like stuff with this. Here we go.
That's pretty fluffy.
That's pretty fluffy, if you ask me. So, then people are going to say, hey Anthony, you already showed me that you can knock out all 4 wheels with GSF, but can you do it with Breakbuster, a wheel cleaner at a stronger dilution? Let's see. Let's do it. Let's do it. That way we can give Dane a quick wheel clean.
All right.
All right, all 4 wheels. We're working with roughly, I'm going to say about 20, 21 ounces left in here, right, at that same dilution. Done.
Just like that.
Done, done, done. Here we go. Wheel 1.
That's plenty.
Wheel 2 again, or wheel 1. I already had plenty on it.
But that's the same amount you put on the back wheel, so it's fair.
Yeah. Here we go. Wheel 3.
I don't know, guys. It's live. Can he do it?
Can I finish it off? Is it possible?
Holy cow, it just keeps going. Come on, guys. Look at that. I'd say you passed the test.
We'll do one last fill over here.
You know, for the complainers out there.
Glenn loves the loves
for
the
people who
foam.
love foam also.
Yeah, nobody wants to have FOMO.
And it does take a little longer the further you go down because, of course, there's more air to fill into the container as there's less product.
We'll go thick on this one, right? I got just a little bit of product left, probably roughly, I don't know, probably less than 10 ounces here.
Well, for a winter set, those factory OEM wheels look good with a thick set of foam on them.
So I'm going to run out of product before I run out of air.
No, I was going to say, no sputtering. It is still going.
Gone. Out of product. Gone. Still have air. Out of product. Have I won them over yet?
Well, you guys be the judge. Has he won you over yet? Has this convinced you?
Have I convinced
that this
you?
is not just a simple like, ooh, I just added the valve and no, it's totally different. It's like actually there's a little bit more going on under the hood with this thing. It's not as simple as just putting a valve.
They're from the Basque Country. Trust me, they're more particular than what you think.
Yeah, no, they get a little crazy with it, but that's a good thing.
So Dane, how about you start taking over some introductory comments, start introducing some people?
Absolutely.
I'm going to get your car rinsed off for you.
I appreciate that.
So start knocking them out.
Let me read them off, but you go ahead and respond as you hear things, okay?
Okay. How about you do all the introductions? I'll knock out some questions.
All right, so be it. Well, I'm going to pull up Dan Pfeiffer here because, of course, what's a Q&A without a Dan Pfeiffer popping in saying, good afternoon and word up from Minnesota, USA. Happy Friday Eve, TRC crew. Looking forward to today's chat. Thanks again for the weekend sale. Perfect time to stock up on some O&R. I couldn't agree more, Dan. Next up, we've got, oh, wow, look at that. Popping through. We've got Alex, of course. Our good friend Alex popping in saying, Happy Friday Eve, TRC family. Hope the crew, Hope the crew at MTE is having a blast. I'll be popping in and out of the live. Now, Alex, what are you doing? What are you out there doing right now? Follow up. I've got Ricardo here. Good old Ricardo. Hey, what's up, TRC crew? Happy Friday Eve. I'm noticing a pattern here. It's like we all have the same mantra. Question, what hex grid lights do you have by your wash bay? Anthony, I'm going to need you to answer this one. Evil Bee hex lights, that's what we got up there?
They are, yeah.
Yeah. So Nick is spelling it out for me. How is Evil Bee spelt? EVL. Okay. So there's no I in there. All right. So EVLB, B-E-E. That's where the hex lights came from, and those guys are really great. They've done a great job, and we've split them up around the room, made some different shapes, not as necessarily all hex, but it's kind of fun that way. Then, of course, I've got Dino here. Dino saying, Happy Friday Eve. Oh, there it is again. Just wanted to hop on and say that I am loving the new funny posts on TRC DG. I laughed so hard at Jamie the Driller that my wife asked me if I was okay. Dino, that's just the kind of content you can expect us to provide here at The Rag Company in the Rag Company Podcast Discussion Group. And for those who don't know what TRC DG is, that's just the group on Facebook where we all kind of hang out. Just random posts, fun stuff related to the podcast or whatever's going on at TRC. It's a fun place to hang out, and we got a lot of regulars who tend to pop up here on the Q&A. It's like a club, but you don't have to do anything particularly special to be in it. Just be a nice person, and, you know, other people will appreciate that too. And we all hang out and share ideas. It's fun. Next up, I've got Custom Corrections. Custom Corrections saying, Happy Friday Eve. Man, every time with the Friday Eves. From Baldwin Park. Patiently waiting for my first order from TRC. Custom Corrections, thank you for the order from TRC. And for obviously everything that Anthony just did here, if you're wondering, hey, where do I get that stuff? Just at theragcompany.com. That's all you got to do.
Amazon.
Or at Amazon. So if you go to theragcompany.com and you still want to buy, like, I don't know, like a cutting board and some like linens and stuff, so you're buying it off of Amazon, you can go to theragcompany.com, click on the actual IK sprayer listing, then click on the Amazon listing through there, and it'll take you straight to the correct one. So there's no guessing. You know you got the right one. And that's that. All right, next up here, I got Gregor.
Says, does the KC Star Spray triggers with the IK bottles? I got the new Ultra Clay towels and bottles of the last cut. Plus, as always, thanks for the speedy, cheap shipping. So yes, so you can use those sprayers on the IK spray bottles. Yes.
All right. Then Simply Poets Mill popping in saying, happy Friday Eve, boys. Thank you, Poets. And Hans, another regular, with another happy Friday Eve. I'm just loving the good vibes.
Good vibes. It's good today, vibes. Man. I'm telling you what.
Today's a happy day, and there were about 100 people watching as you washed off the car. So you know it's a good Q&A.
Man, right on.
It's a good Q&A when we're at the top of the double digits, cracking into the triples. That's always nice. And by the way, if you haven't told your friends about this and they're into cars and or detailing or just keeping things clean and they're a little bit of a kooky, crazy person, they're welcome here. Well, you know that.
That was like bad jokes too. I
mean, that's kind of all our job.
Yeah.
I mean, we keep things clean, but we also make horrible jokes, so maybe warn them about that. Or just let them find out for their own.
Yeah.
Next up, I'm moving down the line here. I've got Jimmy Moto.
Says, happy Friday Eve from cold and gray Detroit. Jimmy, you should move, right? I want to live anywhere it's cold and gray.
I think he works in the industry, so he kind of doesn't have a choice.
Okay. Wet sanding the world's worst paint job and need you guys to entertain me. That sounds exciting. What grid are you using? What are you going in with?
More importantly, Jimmy, what car is this on? I'm very curious. What car has the world's worst paint job? I really want to know.
I've seen some pretty horrendous paint jobs, right?
You've seen some atrocious
You should have seen Dane's wheels. His hand-painted wheels. The worst I've ever seen in my life.
They were bespoke. The spokes were bespoke.
They were. Oh my God, they were bad. Hit me with the next one. What do you got?
Oh man, where are we? We are too far. I've got Jimmy at the top of that page, and I've got page 3 where Poets is asking another question.
I'm looking for a new towel storage solution. How do you separate your towels by colors, GSM, purpose? So I used to, So I used to have a system. System's kind of failing right now. It's not really working out the busier I get.
Really?
But I had, so I picked up totes, right? Plastic totes. From Walmart, and you can get a couple different styles of totes there. I think that those are probably the easiest way to store things.
Sure.
Because they're large, and I can fit a ton of stuff in there. But I used to separate them by kind of like a tier of like, hey, here's kind of like my A grade towels, my B grade, my C grade, and my D grade.
So you had a hierarchy.
Yeah, like a hierarchy. That's exactly what it is. And so like my A's were like my perfect towels, my new towels. My B's were kind of my well used. They kind of see a lot of things. My C's were maybe interior towels, and then my D's were pretty much on their way out during being a wheel towel or something for a dirty job. Right.
So you would just label them A through C.
A through A through.
I like that idea better than just labeling with like an actual like purpose, because I think in your head you can make a decision as to what grade is appropriate for what purchase, but it leaves it more open-ended. It lets you figure it out.
Because then I started.
I like that idea.
And then that was kind of my system at first, and it worked really, really well because it was nice because I can just kind of demote towels as I went along, or if I knocked out a car that was just like horrendous and ruined a handful of towels, I could figure out how to demote it from there. But more recently I kind of started segmenting them by their task, right? Maybe for wheels and for dirty jobs, and maybe like certain towels for drying, certain towels for washing. The only problem with that is that I kind of ran into a problem where even though these are my drying towels, these are my wash mitts, these are my other things, those wash mitts get used on everything, right? And those wash mitts get maybe used on something that's really dirty that I may not want to use again on something that's really nice. And I don't know. I'm just really particular about that stuff. So I would say either you can use like the A through D system if you want to do that. You can try to segment them off by their purpose. Color doesn't make sense to me. That's one way. Because there's towels and there's so many different colored towels that have different purposes. You're going to be like, where's my glass towel? Well, I don't know. We're using the green glass towel or the blue glass towel. Well, I was using the black glass towel. We don't have a black color. Where's the black bin, right?
Oh, man.
The black bin...
I've had those conversations with people before, and it's never good.
Doesn't exist. Where is the black bin? Well, I have the black towel. Or, you know, you go out and buy an orange towel, right?
Sir, you might be lost.
And all you have is a bin of yellow towels, blue towels, green towels, and red towels. Where does the orange towel go? Now it's the orange and red bin?
Oh, boy.
That is, it makes my head hurt, right?
No, just go to Anthony's original system, the grades. I like that. Super straightforward. You figure out what you want to do with it. You just know the sort of grade you're looking for.
True. All right.
Leave it at that. All right, Jimmy, back again. Also love the graphic reminding us that Levi won't be joining in today. Yeah, I threw that on after I realized, oh yeah, Levi was with us when I made the graphic, and then I forgot he was going to Florida the very next day. So I went, whoop, had to do a little tweak, slap some words on top of his face. You can figure out the rest.
He's currently wearing, I believe, shorts and a Tommy Bahama shirt.
Yeah, I believe
down there in Florida, right? Yeah. I said, Levi, are you wearing flip-flops? And he's like, no, these are Crocs that I'm wearing, right?
Oh, wow.
They're set to race mode, right? Spoiler up, flipped in the back, right?
Oh, yeah.
So
he likes some sporty.
He's ready for some trekking, right?
Yeah.
He's going to go out and enjoy, maybe get a tan out there in sunny Florida, right?
Well, let's hope a tan is all he comes back with.
Well, typically he comes back with curly hair. I'm like, dude, you don't have curly hair. He's like, the humidity gets me every time, right?
Levi with the Jerry curl, imagine.
Yeah.
Wow, crazy. Okay, so we got Sean Prinz here. Hey, guys. Hey, Sean. And Poets, Laughing at Hans. Weaver. Anthony, you got Weaver here.
He's got my order of 30 ice gray creatures that you guys were just giving away. So I think this was part of this like secret organization of people, right? They kind of gather, underground, right? And they discuss, things, how they're going to save the world.
Like
and whatnot.
A secret club.
Yeah, it's like a secret society where they're talking about how they're going to save the world and how there's like
kind of sounding like Illuminati right now.
No, it's not the Illuminati because one guy kind of dresses up as a bat, the other guy has like a red cape that can fly.
Well, this is different.
Yeah, and then the other one's kind of like a woman who looks like very Amazon-like. I think the Justice League is what this is. I think that it's something like that, right? I'm not sure, but it sounds like that secret society that we're talking about. It can either be that or just the Rag Company newsletter. But
sounds like a DC fan. Maybe I'm just
I'm more of a Marvel guy. But Peacemaker is converting me. One episode at a time. Day new episode tonight on HBO Max. Check it out.
I actually can't wait to go home and watch that. I'm serious.
I know.
I've been loving that show so far. Totally unrelated. Boom, there we got K9 Up 13.
Go ahead and read that for me, Dane.
Hey, TRC crew, thanks for hosting again. Happily and quickly brought the IK Foam Pro 2 Plus. Bought, not brought. Your thoughts on it, and also, what is a safe max PSI before it begins to vent? We're using decent air pressure. I mean, it
holds 45 PSI.
It's safe.
Is what it holds. It's rated for 45 PSI. And thoughts on it? I mean, I'm all for it, man.
You're converted.
It's the added feature with the Schrader valve on there. It's simple, but man, does it make it so much more enticing to use. When things are a lot faster paced. For example, when I'm detailing, right? I was actually detailing my wife's car the other day on the interior, and I always have my air on, right? I have my Husky Silent Flow air compressor, and so I have that with my blowgun attachment. That's kind of sits near me. So when I'm blowing at her interior, dog hair, crumbs,
there's always
things like that. Having air compressor on hand, it just makes this a really simple transition. Because I can pop off that attachment, throw on just my air chuck, and then I can hit something like this this with my interiors, throw on the dry foam attachment or the dry foam tip on there. And I can foam up her seats really quick, give them a quick scrub, knock it down with the Creature Edgeless, vacuum them up really quick to remove any extra moisture, and I've basically introduced minimal moisture, right? Cleaned an interior really fast, and move on, right? But same thing for exteriors. I mean, if I'm using a blowgun or if I have just my air compressor out there with me, regardless, I run my 50-foot line, have it near me, easy fill up, and I'm good to go. But as you guys saw, the biggest thing for me would be that if I can knock out all 4 wheels and tires with one go, awesome.
If you're
amazing.
The way I look at it, just like a piece of consumer advice, which I realize is like, haha, because, you know, we sell them, but we're not the company who makes them. So we have opinions about stuff that we like or don't like certain things. I found that, say, for example, you already have an IK Foam Pro 2 that you like, and you're looking at it going, well, do I need this? The answer is probably no. If you're happy with what you got and you don't use an air compressor very often, then it's probably just fine that you just keep your Pro 2 and you're happy with it. If you do like using air compressors, though, and you're like, is there a reason I should get that? Well, what's your time worth? It definitely saves you time, and you can strategically choose to get maybe one of those and just keep your backup ones as pumps for when you're not using your air compressor or something. Yeah. It totally makes sense. It's just, you use your head, think about, okay, cost-benefit analysis, but also weigh your pros and cons. What's your time really worth? If you're in a professional setting, chances are this is going to pay for itself very quickly.
Yeah, I think so. I think having these on hand, I mean, I really see people benefiting most from being in a shop environment.
Yeah.
Just because I know there's plenty of shops that use these, see it all the time. I mean, like, for example, Vermigel Car Care, right? Vermigel, he's a YouTuber on YouTube, but he also actually runs his own distribution.
Great looking videos.
Amazing looking videos, right? He uses an IK foamer all the time, and he's doing things out of a shop, right, which I know he has air. I could totally see him just loving this in a shop situation, especially for creating content, creating videos, because it just looks so much better in the outputs there. So, yeah, do you need it? I don't think anybody needs it, but I think, do you want it? Yeah. Would it be useful? Probably. But it really kind of just depends. But yeah, 45 PSI is what it's rated for the internals there before the safety release valve airs out. And so, super cool, man. We really like it. And I actually heard some good news last night.
What's that?
Talked to Levi on the phone. He's actually over at Mobile Tech, right, with Iban, right?
Oh, okay,
and so, Iban from IK, from Spain, is with him. And they were...
the Basque Country, specifically.
Basque Country, sorry.
They would want you to make sure it's
sorry, Basque Country, sorry. So, correct. And so, they were there talking, and apparently... Iban gave Levi a couple prototypes of some things, right? But one of those things is actually one of our most requested things.
Is it one of the things we've been asking for years?
It's not a lid. It's not a lid. I'll tell you that.
Well,
right?
that was getting me all excited.
We still have to fight that battle, but let's just say it's something that you have to pull.
Oh.
Yeah. People said, when are they going to come out with their own blank for their blank bottles?
Interesting.
And so just know it's in the work, right? It's in the works. There's prototypes, and they're working on it. So we might be able to see those in the next maybe hopefully 6 months if they come to fruition. But
so obviously IK Slingshot. I mean, come on.
Yeah, totally. Totally a slingshot.
So there you go. Moving along here, we got Sean Prinz saying, to Poets, do you suggest large storage boxes? Currently using Ziploc bags for
towels.
I would
do large storage boxes, yeah.
Yeah, the boxes are worth it.
Totes are great.
More modular storage.
Levi stores his in a trash bag, and we've been trying to tell him just to go get totes, and he knows he needs to get totes, but he's just been too lazy.
It's the Charlie method. It's fine.
It's fine. Eat the cat food before falling asleep. What's up, guys? Says David Cervantes.
Great segue. Hi, David. Then we got Samuel here.
What's going on?
What's going on? Big time thumbs up. Thank you. Sean saying, Dane, your car is straight. I appreciate that, my man. Thank you. And Hans, when will the Orange Eagle 500 applicators be in stock?
So we don't have Orange Eagle 500 applicators, but we have Blue Eagle Edgeless 500 applicators. So is that a request, Hans? Is that what you're asking? A request?
That feels like a veiled request.
Feels like it.
Unless he was just confused. Yes, Poets. Dane's been scraping again.
Yes,
that happens. I really don't have a choice in my new driveway for now. No matter how much an angle I take it at, it's still... The cold weather just makes the plastic brittle, and next thing you know, it's just life. But that's why I get the cheap front splitter. It looks nice, but it's fine. If it cracks, I can fix it. We've got Graham.
Happy Friday Eve to the dynamic duo. I spent my little eyes something beginning with... What does that say?
Jag.
Oh, I saw.
Oh, him? He drives a Jag.
That was Aston. Aston.
Yeah, a Jagston. All right, we've got Dead Pedal, Andrew. Wish y'all were here in Florida. Might swing by and see Levi in a bit. Do that, Andrew. Go say hi.
You definitely should. You'd make his day.
Yes.
Maybe pull in your voices. Do the Starbucks. The Starbucks.
My God, the Starbucks robot was one of the funniest things ever. At the end of our video with Andrew and Freddie Tavares, so funny. If you just watch that Bentley Wash Wednesday we did. So funny. Anyway, that's Andrew, in case you weren't aware who he was. Very cool guy. I got Graham here again. Happy Friday Eve. Well, you just said it again. All right, you're just doubling down. We got Nick. Will there be a multi-pro version? Anthony.
I don't imagine there would be a multi-pro version. I don't see it happening.
Because I see a lot of people asking like this, like when we did the IG Live on the Racer yesterday, a lot of people were wondering, can I get a multi like that?
Yeah, I'm not saying never, but I'm just saying that I don't see it happening probably anytime soon. Just because the multi is actually the between the two, as much as I think the multi is actually a very useful tool, I know that the Foam Pro outsells the multi by quite a bit, and so
it's really the novelty of having foam versus there's lots of traditional sprayers out there.
I would like to see a Multi Pro 12, right, with the Schrader valve attachment before seeing a foam or seeing a Multi Pro 2.
I agree with that. I think there's a more reasonable place for that. Not that there's not for like a multi in this size, but it's just the 12 for what you're using it for. That's going to make the most sense.
That with O&R, man.
Yeah,
money.
Just saying. All right, Dan. Oh my God, the photo is back. My eyes.
Where is it?
Well, if we cut to Anthony's camera, I believe it appears. Yeah, there it is.
I didn't even notice it back there.
You didn't even know it was back there.
Dang it, you guys.
They're sneaky.
What are you doing with that?
That's definitely Glenn and Nick's contribution. Probably Seabass was helping along too.
I'm going to like draw on a Hawaiian shirt onto myself there.
Graham here. I hear a prequel to Red Heat is in the works based on that photo. Oh no. Hans. It's a picture of Famous All Day Anthony. Man, don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is.
All right. Then we got Alex.
G. Davis has a workplace safety video about accidental discharge. I think he does, actually.
I actually, as much as that sounds like a joke, I'm sure he's made something.
I'm sure it's been done.
We've got Ryan Rigdon. Happy Friday Eve, guys. What a great day. Live Q&A and my package from TRC was just delivered.
That is a good day.
That is a good day, Ryan. Welcome to the show. Dino back again, laughing at the photo, made its way out into the podcast studio. I know you may think we're up to no good here and we're the ones who set this up. No, actually, it's the friendly folks behind the camera. They know just
sabotage
how to mess with us. That's just the way it goes. Moving along, we got Nick. Where do I buy that Koch mixing pitcher?
So we don't actually sell this.
I've had a lot of people ask about that pitcher.
Guys, you can just go buy a normal pitcher from the store, right? And maybe, hopefully, maybe it'll have measurements on it.
Yeah, but they don't want just any old pitcher at the store. They want that one.
I think Coach Kimmy literally got it in any old pitcher from the store.
Printed on a pitcher.
Just printed it on here.
But it looks so nice.
It does look really, really nice. I want to say, I don't know. Koch gave this to us, or Andrew gave this to us as just kind of a something to use within the studio. But depending on demand, I just can't imagine shipping this thing would be cheap. What?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you guys in on a little trade secret here. Shipping buckets sucks. Shipping any kind of mostly hollow item really sucks because it doesn't weigh much, but it takes up a lot of space. And shipping, usually, a lot of the cost doesn't account so much for the weight as it does for the space it occupies. Yeah. So things get a little leery there, but yeah, just a little heads up. All right, I got Shelby here.
Don't say that, Shelby. I only have, right? You can't say that. It's proud of it.
It's not lesser.
It's not lesser. It's still a damn good sprayer, right? But she says, I only have the Foam Pro 2. Which orifice would be the best for O&R? I know it won't foam, but I haven't picked up the Multi Pro yet. Shelby, you don't do it, because what's going to happen is the O&R is just going to sputter out. It's not gonna. You're gonna get frustrated trying to do that. I would say buy the Multi Pro 2 if that's what you plan on using it for. Would be for O&R. That, or figure out another way to apply it. Just don't waste your time, because it will sputter and it's not pretty. So the Multi has a better spray pattern for O&R anyways, because it has the conical sprayer versus the fan sprayer.
Yeah, foam is O&R and foam. They just don't get along, and it rejects it at every turn. All right, I got Sue.
Thanks for this. I'm going to try Nano Magic. Right on, Sue.
Nice.
Heck yeah, do it.
Then Dino here. Oh dear.
Oh my gosh. Ooh. Happy weekend eve, my dude, says Bill. And next up we have
going back over here. Then we've got
Paige. Hans says,
oh geez, Hans, don't get the eraser wheel on that car.
Not this one. I saved that for the van only, right?
Yeah, that's true. Well, he would have to get through a wrap before he hurts my paint, so at least it's got a little protection.
Talk about that, Dane. Let's move on.
My poor van. G
says, will the shaving cream foam cover up subtle front end damage? Absolutely.
Much the opposite, actually, G. Davis. It'll draw attention to it because you'll notice what's not there once all the black stuff becomes white. And it's like, wait a second, there's a big old chipped tooth here.
Yeah.
All right.
Agreed.
Fortunately, the bumper underneath that, all totally fine. That's why I put the cheap splitter on there. It protects the actual car from damage, so that's the nice part.
Bill chiming in on Monday's discussion or Tuesday's discussion says, Anthony, I had the same stupid Roomba with the same issues. I bought the new self-emptying Roomba. Will change your life. What? Are you serious? The brushes are like lily brushes. After 5 months, never have cleaned them. What?
Wow.
That does sound life-changing, right?
Dang.
Bill, I may have to take a trip to Costco and return my Roomba model, right, and opt for the self-emptying version.
Okay. I mean, that sounds awesome, honestly.
That really does. That sounds amazing.
And that's us just saying that as people. Like, we have no vested interest in Roomba or anything.
It needs to take everything it picks up, all the hair, everything in dog hair, things like that. Yeah. It needs to self-empty it, right?
You have 2 golden retrievers. I have a Great Pyrenees. We have dog hair in our houses, and a lot of it.
And that'd be crazy, though, right? Then it has like its own little dumpster fire and lights the hair on fire, so so it creates more room.
I don't remember that part.
No, I'm just saying that would be a cool feature of the new Roomba self-emptying thing, right?
Self-emptying and then self-immolating.
Yeah,
You're just like
incinerates everything, and then you can creates more room.
Okay. Oh, come on, David. Anthony cleaning Dane's ars. Surprise, surprise.
He always gets
David,
me to do it.
Come on.
They talk me into it. I don't know how it happens.
Do me dirty like that. All right, we got Neil.
Happy Friday Eve,
DRC. And then we got Shine Your Light Detailing.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, hey.
And then Gregor says, Dane, love that color. Check out the Techno Violet from BMW in the 90s. I have a 95 3 Series, and it's a strange plum purple blue abyss. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, no, I know that color. That's a really interesting color. Did they do that on the 5 Series, like the E28s? Around that time period, a little earlier? Something like that. Go ahead and remind me, because I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm usually better at this stuff. All right, I got Poets.
Anthony, can you demonstrate the eraser wheel once more, please? Seems like there's a demo cover here. I agree. I know.
We all know how this story ends. Or don't. That's totally okay,
check
too.
out a wax called Flip It Mitchell and King. Yeah, check it out. 82 viewers, guys. Yee!
Yay! G. Davis.
Is this more or less foam than the massage chair creates on a solo for
Oh, no. Sometimes the inside jokes are just...
Honestly, if he wouldn't have used the word solo, it wouldn't have been as funny. But, like,
That's the magic of G. He'll say something that seems perfectly innocuous, but he'll throw, like, 1 or 2 words in there that transform it entirely, and you just... you can't. Man. You can't.
Anyone with 5K will make a multi-Pro Tools version with the Schrader valve.
See, there it is again.
Again, I don't know if it'll happen. Maybe
we can use this video as evidence to put towards IK, though, and say, hey, there's a lot of demand for this. You know, if enough people ask for it, who knows?
We will see.
Who knows? All
Dan
right.
Pfeiffer says, Breakbuster 1-to-1 Club, represent. And then Spoonful says, I live in an apartment complex with outdoor parking without access to a hose. Use my regular Foam Pro 2 for the first time at a self-service car wash the other day to help remove road salt. Game changer. Awesome, dude. That's great.
True. We got Dan. See ya, gotta go thick. Although, I'm not sure if he's saying, see ya, gotta go thick, or see, you gotta go thick. Like, I'm not sure which way he was saying it, but I feel like it was the latter.
Missing a comment, yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
All right.
Comma makes a difference. All right, Dan. Moving on. We've got Shine Your Light saying nice testing. Yep,
Nice.
This is definitely from back a little ways, but that's okay. We got Hans.
Keep foaming like that and Santa will come.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't know. That's some Netherlands lore is what that is, right?
For those wondering, we should put like a consumer advisory. Hans is from the Netherlands, so when he says something, it can be a little odd sometimes.
It translates different than...
That's not speaking ill of anyone in the Netherlands. It's just sometimes the translation doesn't always go through quite right, I don't think.
Dane, why do you have red and yellow brake pads opposite?
You shouldn't know that. When you see one side of the car, you just think it has one color of brake calipers. That's how it works.
Graham Marshall's going to point out everything.
Hey, Graham, you're just going to make me super self-conscious about it. I did it as a test. I wanted to know where it looked better, if it had yellow calipers or red calipers, because those are the red are the stock. Those aren't painted. That's just the way they are. But they were getting kind of old and pink, right? So I wanted to paint them. And I thought yellow on a green car always looks good. I love that Aston Martin kind of green car, yellow brake calipers. Just think it looks cool. Next up, we got, hey, Yo Hurl. What is the benefit of the IK versus the Marlex? I have both, and this seems like much more work. Did that look like work to you? Compared to what?
No, there's almost like no work involved. So I guess my biggest thing there was when people compare the two. I don't think the Marlex are bad sprayers at all. I think they make fantastic sprayers.
They are.
But I mean, the benefit would be, I don't know. It's just either choosing the brand or you like the features of the IK more than the Marlex.
For me, the IK just always felt like it was built a little bit tougher.
Yeah.
But that's just me. I mean, your mileage may vary. I just feel like these canisters are so... Well, what's the exact construction process for those?
It's a blown mold.
So it is. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, it's strong. They're really sturdy. But it's really up to you. I mean, I'm not. Yeah. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I think Marlex makes fantastic sprayers as well. Yeah. You know, we prefer the IKs, and this isn't much more work in my opinion. I think that having the Schrader valve makes it pretty simple.
It goes fast.
Next
then
question.
We've got Neil.
Neil White works for me.
And Mr. Trollin
says, I bring 2 IK Foam Pros with me to the self-service wash bay, one with BrakeBuster at 5-1 and the second with G-Technic W4 and W5 7-1 for a pre-wash. Go home and finish with an ONR. Right on, dude. Yeah, that's actually a great process.
Liam Mallory here.
Is Dreammaker Bead Baker compatible with, yes, both of them are compatible with ONR as a follow-up. Yeah. No, I mean, after ONR, you can use Dreammaker, Beadmaker, whatever you want to use. They both work fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, Grant Hawtree, bringing in them jokes. Is that a 2-door Ford Taurus? No, you're wrong. It's clearly a 2-door Ford Fusion. Get it right. Okay, move it along. I'm working hard, Dane. Oh, okay, Alex. Sorry, you're busy. But you know what? We're glad you're here on the show and working at the same time. You're a trooper. Got Jacob here. Just so you know, just so you all know, this week's podcast made me laugh so hard. I'm waiting to see when Anthony gets a house cleaner. This week's podcast was such a roller coaster.
Yeah.
I just have to preface it by saying, like, there are very funny moments and there are also incredibly sad moments. So be ready for that. It was
kind of a roller coaster.
All over.
But
but it's one of the better ones we've ever done.
I will say though, I did talk. I was listening back on that one. I'm like, man, did I kind of talk too much in that one?
No, but that's because we let you. We would have cut you off if we weren't enjoying it, but we were. Like, people complain, like, you guys talk over each other too much. But the reality is, that's how we are when we hang out. We're all just kind of like, and then and it's like back and forth. But I get it's not the most enjoyable to watch sometimes, but that's how we keep it real.
The mystery is still there for the people with exceptionally clean houses. I still want to know the answer on how they do it.
Like, maybe this is my own projecting here, but real people, when they're having conversations, they don't, wait like they're reading a script for their turn to say their line, and then the other person says it nice and cleanly. You overlap sometimes. You're having a real life conversation. That's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
All right. Next here on the list, we've got.
All right. We got Brian.
Brian says, going to do some polishing and I've been using Bead Maker. What's the best way to remove it from the car before polishing? Dude, honestly, the second you take a polisher to that panel, bead maker's gone. I mean, it's not going to make it through some polishing, but if you want to do an IPA wipe down, you can, right? If you want to cut some 70% one-to-one with distilled water, if you want to use a paint prep of some sort, you know, I think that G-Technics panel wipe at one-to-one will absolutely remove bead maker. But I mean, if you're going to be polishing, that compounder polish is going to break through that bead maker almost instantaneously. So don't overthink it, but it also wouldn't hurt to knock it down with a paint prep style product.
G. Davis.
Hans Closen asks, will exposure to this much foam affect fertility?
Hans responds, not if you're Anthony.
Oh my God.
This has gone way off the rails.
What's going on? If you send your Amazon linens, and Anthony will sleep on them and also sign them.
The whole point is that if you were to shop and buy the stuff through Amazon, you can just buy random things because Amazon carries like everything. I don't think they'll spend any time here, though. They come from different places and wind up at your spot.
They do.
Sorry. No, just don't want anybody thinking they're getting some Anthony linens.
I picked up the Foam Pro 2 Plus yesterday along with the Foam Pro 12, Foam Pro 2, and Multi Pro 2 combo. Holy smokes, man.
Kitted out your garage like the whole thing. You're ready to go
this is a lot of,
for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, that's a lot of IK sprayers. Congrats, man, and enjoy. Have fun.
They're all special in their own way. You'll get to know them and you'll love them. All right, we got Tony. Hey, TRC fam, I love the FTW towel, the further window towel, for bead maker, etc. But I don't love how it could snag pull fibers on emblems. Is it okay to use a waffle weave bead maker and other spray sealants?
Absolutely.
Yes,
100%.
you could certainly do that.
100%, yeah.
Yeah, the FTW, it's just, it gives a little more pile. And the trade-off is, yes, you have some threads that kind of stick out a little bit over time. You may potentially snag, but that's not a guarantee. It's just, it could happen. But that's the nature of the weave.
The FTW has a thicker pile to remove to help alleviate pressure points when you're wiping. But the Dry Mirror River, I mean, even folding in fourths is going to do it. It'll be totally fine.
Just, you know, not working on a dirty surface. That's the main thing.
So really quick, Dane, so we've reached the halfway mark. I think we're going to take a quick break, right?
Little hiatus, little
short break, right? Check out some of our a little bit of our commercials. We're going to go to the bathroom, grab something to drink, and we'll be back here, I mean, just in a few minutes.
Yeah. See you guys in a minute.
Hey guys, it's Anthony with The Rag Company, and do you know what's better than Q&A Thursday? Yes, that's right, it's Wash Wednesday. Not just because I host it, but because it is a genuinely entertaining and hopefully informative series where we take cool cars, cool owners, and wash in an impromptu interview setting. So make sure to check out Wash Wednesdays right here at the Rag Company YouTube channel. See some cool cars, see some cool people, and maybe learn a thing or two.
Hola, ¿qué tal amigos? Mi nombre es Juan González, el nuevo miembro de la Rag Company. Y el día de hoy estoy ante ustedes para dejarles saber que vamos a estar aquí haciendo grabaciones totalmente en español, haciendo FAQs, videos informativos. Y te has de preguntar, ¿por qué yo? Bueno, yo ya tengo más de 20 años de experiencia y 10 años con mi negocio en All Season allá en Idaho Falls. Así es que los invito a todos ustedes de habla hispana que se hagan tune in al nuevo canal de The Rag Company en español. Ahí los vemos.
Hey guys, Zay there, The Rag Company, and here on the Rag Company YouTube channel, we've launched something new and exciting. We all love seeing garage tours and seeing how other people's garages are laid out, and we thought we would do our own twist on that. And while we aren't so obsessed, we're definitely good enough. And so what we want to do is make an entire new series, bring you guys along and doing garage tours of different people's garages to see layouts, what they've done with the walls, what they've done with the floors, what they've done with the lighting, the storage, the tools, the detailing products, and so on. It's going to be a really cool series to hopefully give you guys new ideas and maybe make it more relatable to everybody watching. It's not Obsessed Garage, but it's definitely good enough garage. So check that out here on the Rag Company YouTube channel.
Hello, hello, and just like that, we are back here at Q&A Thursday, where hopefully you've already subscribed to this channel. If you haven't, I don't know what's taking you so long. Just click that button, that red button. Take it from saying subscribe to subscribed. Give it the D and we'll all be happy. All right, so moving along, let's get to Grant insulting me. This is always fun. Grant says, Dane, if bespoke means garbage, then yes, bespoke wheels. You know what bespoke means? Well, he's not talking about those wheels.
Oh.
He's talking about the BMW Z3 wheels I painted back during the Heap Car Challenge, which he's not wrong. It was a case of the special, skill set that I was severely lacking. So, yeah, don't have me paint your wheels, pro tip. Anyway, moving along here, we got Jimmy Moto. 2022 Rapid Blue Camaro, stolen recovery, and it was a complete repaint. Ooh.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I don't think the whole being stolen part made the paint any worse than it might have already been, so that's unfortunate. Those Camaros, those newer ones, they have a really unfortunate grille, like just a really unfortunate face. I'm sorry. It's no bueno.
What I found out, Dane,
what?
is that I can't eat a Quest bar in 3 minutes.
Oh, you were trying.
They're so chewy.
He asked me to give him a heads up when we had 30 seconds before he came back from the break.
I'm like, I gotta have something. I'm starving.
He's like choking over here. Oh, man. Okay.
It happens.
Well, I'm glad you're okay. We got Hans. Going back and forth. They're talking about plastic boxes. Let's keep it moving. I got M&M. Your best one-step combo, pad plus compound. For speed, what do you do, Anthony?
For speed,
Yeah.
Orange Lake Country, Last Cut Plus. First, I mean, if you're looking for correction and the possibility of, how do I say this? If you're looking for correction, and if you're looking for something that's going to add some gloss, that's a great one step technically. If you're looking for an all-in-one, I think Rupa's Uno Protect with a yellow pad, or Rupa's Uno Protect with a yellow foamed wool or yellow wool pad is what it would be. And I also think that One Cut and Finish from Coach Chemi is fantastic with their One Cut and Finish pad.
Yeah. Agreed. We got Jimmy Moto back saying razor blades, 1K, 2K, and 3K to finish the sanding.
Ooh, fun.
Man, Jimmy, good luck, bud. Just good luck. Christian here. How much time do you guys use to detail a car? Well, now I'm more of the microfiber side of stuff guy, but Anthony details. I'm not a detailer, professional or otherwise. I just happen to pick up a lot of the stuff through osmosis, more consumer side.
How much time do you use?
How much time do you use?
That's an open-ended.
It's very open.
I mean,
what's the vehicle? What are the expectations?
Yeah.
What kind of owner does it have? One who's going to let you leave after a half hour, spit shine and you're good to go, or something more extreme.
Also depends on what your definition of a detail is, right?
Oh yeah.
A detail, right? Could take 30 minutes.
It's
it could also take 3 days.
Term. Or if people don't like it.
I guess, Christian, if you just want to give me a little bit more detail about the detail you want to know. Are you talking about polishing? Are you talking about an interior detail? Are you talking about interior, exterior? And then I can probably help kind of give you an idea of what that would look like.
Yeah. No, that's fair. And what types of vehicles you're looking to do it
correct.
on. Okay. So we've got Getty here.
Hey guys, is there a specific microfiber cloth that you would recommend for applying a topper, or does that even matter? I bought your Edgeless 365 10-pack.
Those are a good tell.
365s are fantastic, 70-30 blend. They're great for adding a topper.
Pearls, also great.
Also great, yeah. I think a lot of people for topper products enjoy the FTW.
Yes.
I think it's kind of across the board. Typically a topper is going to add a little bit of slickness. It's going to add some shine. I think that the tactile feel of the FTW for that process just is really nice.
It's dense.
So, for example, I mean, that's why Dreammaker is paired with an FTW in the pink, special color, and that's why Beadmaker, right, works so well with an orange FTW, and the list goes on there. So
when you get clean passes, you don't get smudgy.
Now they are clean, right? It knocks down really fast. Typically, we're left with less streaking and just an overall better finish.
Yeah, depending on if the product you're using is a thicker sealant or something, it helps to have something that can do a cleaner pass. So FTW, great suggestion. Then we got Deb Pedal here.
Says no sundown here right now, and it's going to be in the 20s on Saturday.
Fahrenheit?
Andrew,
What?
I understand that that's cold to them, right? That's cold, but I mean,
But that's Florida.
We are Northmen here.
That's Florida.
Yeah, it's pretty cold.
That sounds wrong.
That's strange, though. I wonder.
Florida.
Leo
Gray
will
and
feel
cold,
right at
huh?
home then, right?
Yeah, well, he just kind of left it to go back into it, I
Yeah, I
guess.
guess so.
The highs are probably still a little higher than ours, though. I would be willing to bet.
Yeah.
Okay, Hans here. Nope,
says-
still on those boxes.
Yeah.
Okay. JB, not sure if you already
Yeah.
covered this, but will the IK Foam Pro 2 Plus work with any air compressor?
Yeah, any air compressor. I mean, as long as you have a normal, Schrader valve, bike pump style attachment, it's going to work. And pancake presser, it could be, an upright compressor. It's, the beauty of the Foam Pro 2 is that, or any of the IK foamers, is the safety release valve, right? So basically, anytime it's overfilled, right, and it's reached its max pressure, it's automatically going to release air.
As long as it's functioning properly, it's going to save you from blowing yourself up, and that's good.
Correct. Yeah. You don't want that to happen.
No.
So yeah, I mean, any air compressor will do the job. I mean, I wouldn't recommend, like a bike pump wouldn't really make a whole lot of sense because you're still pumping something.
Unless it's like one of those double flow ones where when you pull up, it also pumps.
That might actually go pretty quick,
like
right?
an inner tube filler.
Click it, right?
Like,
1, 2.
If you still want to have manual operation, but you're just like adding an extra step, and you're going to use the Schrader valve, that
we
might
should
work.
get a bike pump and do that. Do a test. I'm curious,
that.
right? They also
Like a
have the
raft pump.
They also have the electronic bike pumps, right? Little battery powered ones.
yeah.
So you can. I'm not saying you
Or
should
like,
do that, but I mean, if you
where
want to.
for new cars, depending on the car you get, they don't give you spare tires anymore hardly ever. They give you like a can of slime or something. But others, like my C-Max, they came with an actual like little compressor, like a little air compressor.
interesting.
It was just like the size of this iPad basically. But it worked for like 5 years and then it died.
Dude.
It's something. All right, moving along. Decon.
Says, I keep my towels in a Husky tall cabinet separated by its specific use, but I've got a stack of it below grade towels that are used for dirty jobs. Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
Bill Pearson.
If I missed the Insta Live on the Razor, can I find it somewhere else? Unfortunately, Bill,
No.
it is gone forever, right? Instagram kind of, once you delete the video,
It's live and you see it, and if you don't see it live, it doesn't exist anymore.
But we'll have future
that's
videos on it for
why
sure.
we thought it was a good idea to include a demo at the beginning of this show, was for the people who missed it, they get a chance to see it. And this will be preserved, I'll let everybody know, this will be preserved on the Rag Company podcast YouTube channel after about 24 or 48 hours here on the main channel. So you'll see this disappear and appear over on the podcast channel for long-term viewing. So if you're like, hey, where'd it go? You can still find it over there just in a couple of days.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I've got Phil Bloomer.
Hi, from Salisbury, UK, home of the famous Salisbury steak.
Another steak joke. Okay.
Guys, quick question referring O&R. Can APC be added to it when removing traffic film? Yikes, I hate that word.
We
or
all
would you
hate
prefer
that.
pressure rinse off, pre-wash, and then go with O&R? So I wouldn't add APC to an O&R. I wouldn't do that. I would use APC on its own. If in the process that you're saying to remove film or buildup or grime, you could do a pre-rinse or a pre-spray with an APC just in a spray bottle. Hit the lowers. You can hit it with a pressure washer after that, then bring it in the garage and knock out the rest with an O&R wash. That would make the most sense.
And I got spoonfuls.
I have a Milwaukee cordless tire inflator that works for pressurizing some other detailing sprayers I have. I imagine that kind of thing would work well with the Foam Pro 2 Plus. No compressor needed. Yes, I'm sure that would work.
Yeah. Dabbler.
Hey fellas, any announcements regarding TRC?
Well, you've got the dates now, as shown in the little teaser there that played in the break. But as far as specifics, say like people who are going to show up, we're still tightening it down. But we've got some good ones.
There will be some fan favorites.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I will tell you that much. It's going to be one heck of a good time. A lot of new faces, a lot of old faces, a lot of people that you definitely will want to see.
If you enjoyed last time, you're going to enjoy this time. Promise you that. All right. Then we got Deep Clean.
What's better, the Detail Factory brushes or the Ninja Scrubber? Thanks. I think maybe he's referring to the blue VLB. VLB brush.
I like
Both
with one
of
B,
them-
I'm saying Scruber.
I think that's what you're referring to, but they're serve different purposes. I think that's what he's referring to in the Ninja. But yeah, if you're referring to the VLB, they're two different purposes. I mean, you can both use them to clean things. The VLB is going to be much more for dirty jobs and removing a lot of grime. I mean, it's more aggressive in the sense that it's still safe, but it's very, very fast and efficient. Whereas I think the Detail Factory brushes are can be more intricate with the areas that you're able to get into, but are also more therapeutic, right?
Yeah.
If I'm honest.
That's true. Then I've got Hans. What? No Orange 500 applicator? Guess someone is slacking. Hans, you just like making life difficult.
He does. He always wants new things. He
Yeah.
likes to try new things, right?
Oh, that thing doesn't exist? Guess somebody's slacking. JD.
JD says, I've seen on Facebook a dilution of Beadmaker and Dreammaker. Please do tell the dilution and the results if you've tried.
People are getting crazy.
So Jamie the cleaner.
They're getting wild.
Damn it, Jamie. Throwing this
see what
stuff
you
out
did,
there,
Jamie?
making things difficult for us here at TRC.
Jamie got JD all hopped up on this idea.
So we actually mixed the two together by mistake quite some time ago, right? Back when Dreammaker was still kind of in its very early stages of development. And I mean, how do I say this, right? It works. The chemistry is much different. Those are two completely different chemistries, but weirdly enough, they do work together, which I think explains why that you can hit Beadmaker on a surface and then shortly after hit Dreammaker without any ill effects. In terms of like an actual dilution, I don't know. I'm not telling you guys to go and do that. I don't want you guys to go and do that. I'd rather use each product on its own because that's how they were intended. But if you wanted to mix them and try out some stuff for yourself, you can. Jamie
We're not
said,
stopping you. We're
Jamie
just not advocating for it either.
Well, Jamie said he was going to make a video on it. That is all him.
Yeah, no.
Right?
Talk to Jamie about that if you want.
Talk to Jamie and say, hey, how are the results? What's it feel like? What's it look like? Talk to him. We'll refer you to him.
That's fair. All right.
Christian says, how long do you guys use when you are polishing? Okay, so that makes more sense. How long does it take to polish a car? Also, Christian, that is a very, I mean, that's also pretty open-ended. I mean, Levi is known for his famous Levi's 20-minute one-step, right, where he basically runs around a car as fast as he can with a machine to knock out as much surface area using a one-step technique. The 20-minute one-step is completely feasible and completely possible if you're using a product like Uno Protect, because I feel like it's going to add some gloss, it's going to add some protection, and it's also going to have some slight correction abilities when used with the appropriate pad. So you can technically one-step polish a car in about 20 minutes, but you can also polish a car and take a week on it. Yeah. It really just depends on how crazy, but I would say the average time that most people will spend polishing a car, doing it the right way, could be anywhere from maybe 2 to 8 hours, depending on how crazy they want to get. So typically in a detail in a shop setting, depending on how many people are on, if it's just one person, they would usually allocate a good half of their day to a full day to doing a full two-step correction and getting into all the different intricate areas.
Sounds right. We've got Aaron's here.
Will the IK make a double trigger sprayer like the Quasar double action bottle? I have no idea.
See,
no idea, Aaron.
The thing about product development with stuff like this is it takes a while.
It does.
And COVID hasn't helped much in terms of allowing materials to get where they need to be. Even if they were, determined way in advance, stuff was still slow to move. I'm not saying that's what happened here, but I can, guess.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then we got Zach here.
Greenstar seems like a great all-around APC, but are there any applications for which you'd suggest a different option? What are its relative strengths and weaknesses? That's a good question. So Greenstar all around is a fantastic APC. I don't really how do I say this? I don't see any major weaknesses to the product. I feel like maybe there might be some situations where people would prefer it to be slightly stronger in its undiluted form, so in its concentrate form. I wish it was just a little bit stronger. For example, I will say that Optimum Power Clean is stronger than Green Star. It is. I mean, Power Clean on its own can straight up degrease a block. It can do crazy stuff. I mean, it's a very potent cleaner, but you should never use Power Clean at full strength. Green Star is something that I would actually feel more safe using at full strength in terms of auto detailing in general and different types of surfaces it could sit on. But for the most part, I mean, you're using Green Star at 10 to 1, 20 to 1, even 30 to 1 for most other purposes. So interior use, I think it's great at 20 to 1 to 30 to 1. I think for exterior use, 10 to 1 is a good sweet spot. I feel like maybe one weakness would be that I wish it frothed up quite a bit more. So in terms of the actual, when you're agitating it and building up foam, I feel like it could foam just a little bit more. But its strengths are that it's a safe APC. It doesn't make my skin itch. Doesn't irritate
That's
anything.
That's a big plus right there. You accidentally
and I think it's maybe slightly more environmentally safe than a lot of other APCs that are out there.
But still effective, because that's what everybody's worried is like, oh, it's safe for the environment, it must be garbage.
Well,
that's not always true.
No APC is safe for the environment, right? No APC is going to be able to grow a plant in the ground, but I think that there are some options that are much better than others. Yeah. That's all.
Friendlier if you were to, say, contact it with the skin. So, we got Aaron's here.
Do you prefer the puck applicator or the Adams Polisher style applicator with the hex grip thingy? We love the puck applicator. We think we think our puck, our Pearl Puck, is probably one of our favorite applicators really within our line for ceramic coatings, mainly because it's got the what's it called, the membrane in between the foam and the actual pearl material, but also it fits really nicely in the hand, and I feel like my coverage doing a coating is really good.
You never feel like you're going to drop it. Like it's a very
secure,
confidence-inspiring applicator. Yeah. So that's good to have when you're doing
coating. I think
coating.
those hex applicators look good, though. I think they look really good with waxes, and I think that they are still quality, but I still prefer the puck over that for most purposes.
And you got the barrier. The barrier's cool. All right, we got Aaron's here again. Oh, congrats on the winner of the Eagle Edgeless.
Yeah,
that was nice, wasn't it?
Congrats, man. Keanu, right, in Hawaii. Yeah. It's funny, I was joking with Dane, I'm like, well, hopefully they're in the U.S., right? Because that way we can get them to him faster.
And then you're like, yes, they're in the U.S. Wait a second.
Yeah. Hawaii. I'm like, dang, that's going to take a little longer for him to get to him, but we'll try to make it happen.
All right, I got Dennis.
Will this complete video go up on YouTube later? I'm just going to be just joining. I'd like to hear from you. Yes, you can be able to watch this.
As I mentioned earlier, the Q&As are here on the main Rag Company channel for a day or two, depending on how long it takes to download them off the back end. Then they get uploaded to the Rag Company podcast YouTube channel, which is where they stay forever after that. So that way, it just, if you were to look at our video feed on our main YouTube channel here, you're going to see like product videos and stuff, but the Q&As, they disappear after a day or two, and they reappear over on the Rag Company podcast YouTube channel. So if you're not subscribed to that, I highly suggest you go subscribe to the podcast channel and click the bell so you know when we upload these. All right, moving along, we've got Dina.
That self-emptying Roomba cost. Oh, man.
I feel like Costco had them for cheaper than that.
Yikes.
I hope Costco had them for cheaper than that.
Yeah, that's $1,000, right? You can buy a lot of things for $1,000, right? Yeah. It was funny. I was talking to Dane yesterday. We were doing the live video. I said, man, if I were to somehow stumble across $1,000, it'd really be nice to get a Krenzla, right? That would be really nice. Go figure, right? I actually stumbled across $1,000 from how do I say
it was a mishap and a reimbursement.
It was a mishap and a reimbursement, so I got a check for $1,000. Literally 5 minutes after saying
after
that.
The show, he got that.
And Dane's like, so that means you're going to buy a Krenzla now? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, he's got reimbursed some money I didn't think I was going to get.
I don't know. Kind of sounds like you might need a Roomba more. You got your Karcher tube. You're happy.
I show up at home. My wife's like, "What's in the box?" I'm like, "You are going to love this for the house, right?" She's like, "Really? Life changing." I'm like, "Seriously, one of the best investments we're ever going to make. It's going to last years, right?" She's like, "Oh my God,
wow.
Is it a Roomba? What do you have in there?" Krenzla, pressure washer, right? So
What am I going to use it on, Anthony?
what's wrong with the pressure washer that you have? That one was only $100. $100? What's wrong with a hose? Oh, we're not talking about the hose.
What does this
right?
$1,000 one do different than the $100 one?
Yeah, no. The $1,000, it's just better all around, and it's better built.
People see the brand and they respect it.
And it looks better.
No.
It's more respectable. Yeah. So
Anthony, I don't care about
how
things
often
like
do you
that.
pressure wash? I don't know, like twice a week. Twice a week. You're gonna spend this much? Yeah.
Yikes.
So maybe no crayons left for me.
Gregor.
The eraser wheel has a purpose, and it's best low and slow. You're right, Gregor. I couldn't even find out if it was going low and slow before I burned through almost instantaneously on Dane's paint. I don't want to talk about it.
Not on this car.
Stop. Everybody needs to stop bringing that up.
On my JDM right-hand drive van.
The burning of
It seems
Dane's
like they're
paint.
not ready to move past it, but I kind of love that
Never
one,
forget,
so
right?
That is fun. Aaron here asking, what is a Roomba? It's a robotic vacuum.
It is. It's a robotic vacuum that does things for you.
It's like a lawnmower for the inside of your house.
It does things that your wife may not do. Does just vacuum her carpets.
Okay, well
Right?
that's one way to describe
I'm just
it.
kidding. I vacuum the
Yikes.
carpets. I vacuum the carpets in my house, so that's what I do. I am the vacuumer. Detail Dude PL says, Dane, from what I know, they don't do them on E28, but they did on the E34s and E39s.
Yeah, so the E28s were a little earlier. I like the kind of shark nose of the E28s, but the E34s, I'm actually a big fan of E34s. I think they're great looking sedans. And I'm not a big sedan fan, but I love those.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got Umberto here. It's a robotic vacuum cleaner that looks like a saucer. Thank you, Umberto.
And you can, in fact, you put things on it to travel around, right? Mm-hmm. So what you could do is you could put a little air freshener on it, right?
Yeah.
And have it trail around as it goes through the house, spreading the scent of air freshener.
I'm not too proud to say I watched Parks and Rec for a long time when I was younger, and DJ Roomba in the house.
Yeah.
So you could throw a little sound system on them. G. Davis here. Oh boy. Well, you know what, G? You always have a difficult opinion
I'm
about
going to
these
disagree
things.
with you on the recent Suicide
The second
movie.
one was so much better.
I think the second one was a ton
Night
better.
and day.
But
'Cause James Gunn
Peacemaker
did
is quite literally one of my favorite news shows I think I've ever seen.
It's awesome.
I love how crude
I think
it is.
G is probably really enjoying the soundtrack for him.
Oh, the soundtrack's
With
killer,
the wigwam
man.
intro and the whole
yeah.
dance sequence. Yeah, no,
The
it's
music's awesome.
good times. All right. If you like glam metal or 80s hair bands.
5 Series got the Technoviolet 2, more plum than fun. If you
More
see
plum than fun. Okay, that's the first time I've ever heard that, and probably the last. But I like where your head's at, Gregor. That makes sense. And then G, just popping in, reminding, it's a robotic vacuum cleaner. Adam, what's the dilution ratio of BeadMaker in the IK Foam Pro 2? So for those crazy people who want to foam their BeadMaker, Anthony, what do they do?
It's just full strength.
It's just not subtle. You're like, here, waste your product.
So I'm not saying to foam. Everybody should foam BeadMaker once in their life. Just to do it.
The smell is incredible.
The smell is absolutely insane. It's increased like tenfold. But what's interesting is because BeadMaker will provide a slight amount of froth, right?
It will.
When it goes on the surface, it's just fun. It's fun to wipe up if you have a good enough towel, but just do it once in your life, right? Before you die, foam BeadMaker, and tell people that. BeadMaker
is a very inexpensive product, so you can kind of afford to do it at least once, just for fun.
Just
for the experience, to say, yeah, I did that.
Do it for the smell. Yeah.
But then after that, probably just use it as intended otherwise. We've got Lydia here. Lydia saying, is Polestar the last product you use on interiors, or does it need a sealant on top?
So Polestar, according to Germany, has some slight protective qualities to it, and I don't know. They never really emphasize this, and I'd actually really like to have a conversation with them eventually, talking about what kind of protection characteristics of it does it have, because Polestar for Alcantara, for fabrics, for door panels, for everything else, it's kind of an all-around interior cleaner. Apparently it's got something in it that has some protective quality, according to them. I like to find out more, right? But it does, that's what they say. But Topstar is technically the UV inhibitor solution that you would want on your interior plastics and on your leather seats. So Topstar that's probably one of my top 5, not saying that because it's called top, but top 5 favorite products within the Coach Kimmy line, because it's just, the smell is great, the look of Top Star looks so much different, but so much more naturally deep and good than a lot of other products in the market.
A richness.
It's not, yeah, it's rich, but it's not shiny.
No.
But it's like, it's weirdly like,
it's depth to something that normally you wouldn't really experience depth
there's
with.
just something there. I don't know, but and the protection's great, and I love the anti-dust qualities of the Top Star too, because there's some type of anti-static built into it, and my surfaces stay cleaner for longer. And
that's a selling point right there by itself.
And I started testing that theory out back when we first got it, which was over a year ago. But I mean, even just during the summer with windows down, I noticed a substantial amount of less dust introduced.
Well, you know me, Mr. Windows Down, like all the time.
Windows down in the dead of winter
all
with
the time.
Snow on the ground. Dane, you are
blast the heater with the windows down. I just love that sensation.
That is horrible for the environment.
Fresh air.
That doesn't make any sense.
Fresh air. All right, so Aaron's here.
I see what you did with the Razor utility joke on Instagram, Razor haircut, yeah.
Yep, Aaron's, that was a fun one. I'm glad people picked up on that joke. Graham, I know your car is wrapped in green, but how it's sitting on the wash mat behind you, it's looking a rather nice blue.
It does look blue.
That is the fun thing. So this is a color by Avery Dennison called Hidden Forest Green. And I really wanted to get green for my car, but I was kind of stuck on like some other colors. And then for 2022 or 2021, when I got it wrapped, they introduced this right at the same time that I was scheduled to actually get this wrapped. So I saw the color and went, oh my gosh, that's the green I've been looking for. And then what I didn't realize was it transforms. So on the light, it's kind of one of those chameleon ones, which I'm not honestly normally a fan of those chameleon type wraps or paints. I think sometimes they can look a little chintzy, a little cheap. But I found that this one really does stick to its colors pretty well, and it looks good from every angle, even when it turns blue or purple or something like that. But the green is like, oh, my favorite green when you stand at the correct angle. So yeah, Anthony knows what I'm talking about. I've got Aaron's here, or ATV. Not sure how you call that Razor. Well,
yeah,
it's called a Razor.
Yeah, it's
a Polaris or Polaris, depending on how you pronounce that. Dang, you must have big wallet since the IK is 35 to 45 with the newer version. Well, you know, for the guy who is loading up on all the IK sprayers, he's clearly a man on a mission. So, yeah. He's kitting out a shop at that point.
Well, and what's nice though too, if you buy them in the bundle, you save actually quite a bit of money.
You actually do save quite a bit. So if you're gonna do it anyway, do buy the bundle. You're gonna save. Shoemaker.
Can you do the Tell ASMR annually? It was hilarious. I want more people to watch it and give us good feedback.
I feel like people, it slept on.
It is slept on. It's so much fun.
It's only been a couple weeks since we did it, so maybe people keep finding it.
It was so funny, dude. It was such a funny.
And it was so out of left field, like nobody saw that coming. I loved that. Like we talked about it in the office, and I pushed hard for it because like, you were one of the few who was like on board with me. Like, I think I see how this could work. And it was one of those things where it's like, I feel in my gut that even if a lot of people don't watch, the people who do watch are going to love this. But you had to commit. You had to do this whole thing with like low voice. You can't speak up too much because you got to keep it in the range.
Uncomfortably good. New York Times.
Yes.
Right?
The discomfort is actually comfort. You just don't know it yet. Gregor, here we go. I have close to 600 cars on my IK Leader foamer with original filter kit running. Awesome, and Meg's APC. I think the deal worked out in my favor.
Yeah, Gregor, that's great.
I think
that's amazing.
Got Bill here.
Anthony, I have 3 cats, and it's fantastic emptying into a proper bag even. I've seen it stop in the middle of a job, empty and carry on. That is incredible.
I know it sounds expensive, but maybe it's worth it.
Like, that would be great, because what I would do,
how much that's going to save you.
After it stopped and it finished its cleaning job, right, I would go over to that Roomba, sit next to it right on the ground, crack open a beer for the Roomba.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Sit on it and then have a beer for myself and just say, wow, we really killed it today with the cleaning job, right? And then at the very end, say, are you going to drink that? You're not going to drink that? Okay, I'll take that back, right? and just enjoy it for both of us, right?
Oh, you don't drink. That's cool.
You don't drink. That's cool. No, I got it. But like as the Roomba's doing the floors, like I'm wiping my baseboards. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like giving it the knuckles. And
You
saying,
give it a
like,
little fist bump.
I'm
Hey,
like,
buddy.
dude, we're killing it out here. Dude, we're doing such a good job cleaning. Beer on me afterwards, right?
Just
I'm
me and my
having
room,
two
bro.
Oh, it's
Quality
too funny.
touch here with the Bori Bori. And Aaron's Bill, cats? I don't know why that's
Bill's
so
a
funny
cat
to
guy.
me. Just a question on its own. Cats? We got Luca Bilota.
Well, you guys have the RC tire brush and wheel brush in the Amazon Canada store by chance. I have no idea. We know that for sure, probably eventually the Detail Factory barrel brush, but I don't know about the tire brush. So
We'll take that into... Yeah, we'll
we
think
are
about that,
continuing
though.
to build out Canada more and more. I mean, we
Yeah.
understand the demand there. It's happening. It's just
Strategically,
it's
you have
strategic.
to pick certain items to go up first.
Yeah.
That then legitimize the further expansion. So, yeah. We've got quality touch here. The 98 Civic build going well. Can't wait to apply Beadmaker. Then that dream.
nice. That's gonna be
Nice.
awesome, dude.
Grant. Anthony, do a bottle flip.
Oh, the what?
I don't know.
This doesn't have a
No,
this doesn't
and
have a,
like
this doesn't like nothing
you can't.
nothing is secure to do that, Graham. I'm sorry.
It's just all
You
gonna
can't.
make a mess.
Yeah, it'll be not good.
YC Auto Detailing. What are the best brushes for detailing interiors or exteriors? Gracias.
What are the best brushes? I would say, really, if you're looking for the best of the best, I think that Detail Factory produces some of the best finer brushes out there. If you're looking for anything big, that's where they come from all different shapes and forms. We really like our flagtip nylon brush that we have. I mean, I don't know. We have a horsehair brush. I think we sell it. I think still, but. I don't know. Brushes are weird. I guess that's what I'm trying to say is that people have so many different preferences in brushes, and there's so many different brushes
I like
out
this
there.
handle, but I don't like the bristles. I want different bristles.
No,
Okay,
I
here's a
would
different
say,
brush. Well, I
you
like
know,
the handle of that one, and then it's
if-
just like,
With brushes, I'm a strong believer that if it is cheap, it is cheap.
Yeah.
If it's a 3-pack for $7, it's going to be some cheap
with a
brushes.
brush, when it's a cheap brush, you can tell.
Yeah.
When you hold it in your hand, or even just looking at it, a cheap brush looks and feels
Like
cheap.
It's like a cheap brush, yeah. So as I start at Detail Factory, I would say check out what we have on the website. I think you'll like for our stuff for exterior. VLB brush for interiors, for anything with leather, anything type of plastic or vinyl. I think you'll like it for that as well. But yeah, different strokes for different folks.
Correctamundo.
Am I right, Dane?
You're not wrong.
Brushes, do you get it?
Oh, God. Okay. And then there's G. Davis here saying, I hope everyone will support Juan and Levi tonight as they judge MTE's Dude Only Over 55-70 Olympics. My
It's not so much the sights you have to worry about there, G. It's the smells.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Grant, bottle flip? That's so 2016. That's right, Aaron's.
Aaron's attacking people today.
Man, Aaron's
Aaron's
Aaron,
just
you're
out
kind of
for-
in a mood today.
He's out for blood, dude. He's just out taking people on. Oh, man.
oh, no.
Oh, Gio, get out of here.
Well, he's a different guy. He could be there for all we know.
Yeah, my goodness,
we don't
G-Davis.
know.
Uh-huh.
My goodness. Yeah, that's right. Alex, probably with a real question. Let's see. So everyone knows and loves Ammo and Larry Casilla, some of the best detail transformation videos, but why isn't Ammo a staple in the detail community? Now, my best guess with that stuff is there's probably a little bit of barrier with price. Sometimes people feel that way about things, but I think a big part of what Larry does is he builds such a foundation for like Larry as a brand. You know who Larry is. You know what Larry does. He's amazing at crafting. I mean, he really creates this
the brand
whole
and the image
brand
of
and image
Ammo.
that when
Yeah.
you just say it and you immediately picture it, you know what to expect. When you're like, oh, I watched a Larry video the other day, you know what you're going to get, and it's fantastic. And having met Larry on a number of occasions and talk with him at length sometimes, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Really great guy. So, yeah, as far as the brand goes, I think he obviously cares about what he does, and he's not putting something out just to put it out. He really does care about it. But I think it's more important.
I think it's price. I think it's distribution.
Yeah.
Right. Distribution is done through his website, right?
Yeah.
And then price is a big thing for people. And I mean, I understand. I mean, sometimes a $30 interior cleaner might be too expensive, right?
Yeah.
And then you have to take account into shipping. So
you're not going to see widespread adoption of that in like the cheaper shops.
If it was more readily available, I think it'd probably have be a little bit more pronounced within being a staple product. But yeah, I mean, but that's just he's doing it for himself. I mean, that's just he does it all that stuff himself. So more power to him. Next up, we
got Aaron's
my mixed green star with ONR. It works for GSF, so I'm assuming it works for ONR. No, I wouldn't. I just don't see any benefit to that, and that would you're gonna have to neutralize what you just did again, right? So you mix Green Star with ONR, it's not gonna be a rinseless wash because you could have residual Green Star left on a surface, so you'd have to neutralize that. Does that make sense? Next up
is Yo Hurl. Thanks. My experience with the IK had to be more precise in dilution.
With the new with this new Schrader valve attachment, I find that you can go stronger on your dilution, but at the same time, though, guys, I must be an IK whisperer or something. I'm not really sure.
I swear, half the time I hear somebody has an issue or something, we go and try and recreate the scenario, and it works fine for us. So it's like, okay, let's take a look.
I guess the base, everything should be done at 10-to-1 dilution. Seriously, I mean. Or like the second you get a hint of color from a product, that's when you should probably say, that's about right.
Yeah, if you're eyeballing it.
I do see a lot of people that struggle with dilution on these things, but I also have seen some people that have just got things backwards as hell. I mean, I think there's a customer, it was a couple years ago, said, "Hey man, what's going on?" I'm like, "Let's go, hey, what's good, dude?" He said, "Yeah, so I mixed my IK sprayer up. Man, dude, I am having just some bad results." I'm like, "Yeah, well, what's going on?" He's like, "Well, I'm foaming a soap, Pearl from PNS." And I said, "Oh, nice, yeah, good soap."
Generally thinner soap, it's going to mix well.
So he's like, "I did your recommendation. I saw it on there, 34-to-1." And I'm like, "Okay, 34-to-1. Okay, so you got your water in there with just a little bit of Pearl." No, I did Pearl as my 34 parts, and I did water as my 1 part.
No.
And I said, "Dude, you're messing with me right now, right?" He's like, "No, are you kidding me?" He's like, it's 1 part of the soap to the rest water." Yeah. And I said, "Yes. Why would that make any sense going backwards?"
Okay. So we made a video about dilutions.
Yeah.
Anybody who's having second thoughts right now after hearing this story and go, "Wait, I might be that guy," go watch the dilutions video. It should help a lot. In terms of how the numbers work.
It's simple. But it works.
So if you're not sure, look it up. I promise it's worth your time.
Yeah. So it was just really funny and he was laughing about it because he's like, "Dude, I'm such a dummy." I'm like, "No, you're not a dummy.
You're not dummy. It's just if you don't know, you don't know."
Well,
that's
and
totally
some people
fair.
overthink it, right? And they overthink and they think this has to be it, right? Because it can't be this. That's too easy, right?
No, sometimes the easy answer is the correct answer. Sometimes it is. All right. So hopefully that helped. We got Phil here.
Guys, what are your thoughts on the best polymer sealant in your opinion? What are your thoughts on the best polymer sealants in your opinions? There's a lot of, again, the best is very much an opinion thing.
My idea of what constitutes best may be different than yours.
Yeah.
Like, you may care about longevity, but I care about the looks, and I don't care how long it lasts.
So, spray sealants, I mean, if you would like to even include bead maker into the spray sealant category, I think the bead maker is probably one of the most utilized and one of the most, I guess,
I love the way it looks.
Versatile spray sealant, if you would like to call it that. But some people say I don't include bead maker because the longevity isn't quite that of maybe a long-term spray sealant. Well, there's a lot of other great ones out there. I mean, OptiSeal was definitely a staple. I think
C2V3.
C2V3 is pretty much is definitely a boss in the spray sealant category. Yes, it is technically it has ceramic in it, and it can be a topper for your coatings.
I was gonna say it holds up.
on its own as a sealant style product, I mean, C2V3 is pretty killer.
Yeah.
Outside of that, Hyperseal from Optimum, we don't sell it. That is another spray style sealant and topper that can be used and lasts a long time.
From the OptiCoat maintenance line.
And then SO02 from Koch Chemie is pretty great as well. I don't know. I mean, heck, dude, even the Turtle Wax stuff is not bad. I mean, the Turtle Wax, Seal and Shine.
Honestly, there's so many good products these days in that space. It's hard to go wrong. As long as there's like a decent amount of good word of mouth around it, chances are it's going to be good. But your expectations and what you're expecting to get out of a product may really shift your ultimate opinion, because some people may be hearing all this, oh, it's all this hype, and they think, oh, great, it'll do everything I want it to, but they just heard hype. They didn't hear what specific things about it were being hyped, and then they go, well, that's not what I wanted at all. And it's like, well, you went in blind. Maybe you should have checked first to see if it was actually going to fulfill your expectations. So do a little research, see what other people like about certain products, and then decide, does that match up to what I'm looking for? All right. We got G.
I hope the Grandmaster of the Year pick drops soon.
Oh.
Alex Tuarez threatened to get at my stepmom and financial planner.
That's very specific. What the? Alex is a nice guy. I don't think he would do that.
What is that? What? That is hilarious. Moving on. Love it, G. Will the Stroopwafel print towel still be online at the end of Q1? Hans, man, you're gonna just have to probably bleach a waffle weave and then add some yellow tint to it, and that'll have to be good enough for right now.
Don't eat it. just don't eat it.
Then Danny how do you say it? Zamudio says, how do I use paint gloss as I clay my car? Simple, man. Spray some paint gloss onto the clay bar. Spray some paint gloss into the area that you're about to clay. Make nice slow passes with not a lot of pressure. Let the clay do the work. After you've smoothed out that area, wipe up the clay with a towel and then move on.
B&B Auto Detailing and Product Reviews. Boogs here from Yuba City. Does the IK Pro 2 hold more PSI? The reason I ask is my IK foamer pumped up until release valve opens doesn't hold much pressure. Now, there's a few factors that play into that. Number one, how much product is in the bottle when you're filling it up, because that changes the amount of air that can be put in there, obviously. But Anthony, go ahead and take it away. What do you got to add to that?
So the Foam Pro 2 Plus and the Foam Pro 2 actually hold roughly about the same amount of pressure, but it's the way that the pressure is delivered that is different. And that comes from going into the sprayer and then of course going out of the sprayer. So 45 PSI is what these are both rated for, the Foam Pro 2 and the Foam Pro 2 Plus. But if you feel like you're not holding much pressure, it could be because your product is filled up too much, you're not leaving enough room for air. But if it is not filled up all the way, then you might want to check your seals, right? Make sure that the gaskets are in place, there's no leaks or anything that's having air seep out, so you're losing pressure. So give it a look over, and then worst case scenario, check out my IK foam cleaning video where I actually break down an IK sprayer and show you how to do a deep clean on it.
Oh, that's a great video. That's over on the Rag Company FAQ channel for anybody who's wondering. So look it up. Chris Driggett.
How long does a pressurized Foam Pro 2 last? In its pressurized form, probably not very long. I don't recommend leaving them pressurized. Always release the air after you're done with your job. But I mean, heck, you could leave it pressurized for probably, I don't know, for the length of an entire job. I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Like
but
a few hours.
Yeah, a few hours, we should be fine. But
not overnight.
If you're like, hey, I'm going on a vacation to Aruba for 3 weeks, right? I'm going to fill this bad boy up, and then I'm going to come back and see what happens.
Oh no, where'd my pressure go? Wait.
Don't do that.
There used to be seals here. What happened?
No, don't do that. I would say, after your job's done, make sure to depressurize it, clean it if you need to clean it to remove the any product that's in there.
I'm going to state the obvious. If you're worried about keeping pressure in it, say you fill it up and then you want it to stay there for a couple of days, how hard is it to just fill it up again? It took like 1 second when you had it plugged in over there.
They may not. They may be hand pumping.
Now, if you're hand pumping, I get it. I understand that. But if you're using the valve, I mean, that is.
It's building muscle, right? And the hand pump, right?
Yeah.
Let's just say you're not getting enough exercise during that detail, right? You're trying to strengthen those forearms.
Well, I was going to say, switch it up, though. You can't just be right-handing it all day. You got to switch to the left hand. You got to even things out.
Yeah, it feels different. Like I don't know that person.
Yeah, so, stranger. Okay. And on that note, Alex Dewar, Jamie the Cleaner always loves to shake things up. That's right, Alex. Following G. Davis, she makes the best pancakes that I need to accompany with top quality maple syrup. Because you're Canadian, your financial planner needs to help me plan a maple syrup reserve empire. Alex, you're starting to turn into the villain, it sounds like.
Well, no, the thickness, the thickness of that maple syrup is real, and I like to think that. Have you ever had real Canadian maple syrup?
Yes, it tastes very different than the sugary stuff we get down here.
Yes, but I mean, it is syrup. I mean, when I envision maple syrup,
I feel like I could pour it in the oil, part of my car, and it would function.
Honestly, it would probably run off of it for quite some time.
What weight is it? What weight of syrup you running?
Oh my god!
I got VR1 race syrup.
What are we feeling? 20 weight? 30 weight?
Ooh. Decon. Well, nowadays it's all about lightening it up. So,
currently filling chips with DCC. Thanks for the video, Anthony. Nice, right on, dude. Have fun, enjoy it.
And G,
the membrane in the puck is insane.
Insane in the membrane. Hans,
Orange Peel applicator is great. Also agreed.
Oh man. Then Phil.
We got Phil says, guys, if I was to use Uno Protect do a one-step with it instead of using Bead Maker to spray and wipe off, could I use something like Kush Kimi SO2 or G Taking C3? You can. Yes, we did do testing with that. We feel like Bead Maker provided the best feel. Then next in line would have been C2 through V3, and then third would have been SO2. So while yes, you can do that, I don't know. I just feel like Bead Maker did a better job of kind of breaking through the Uno Protect and giving me a much more satisfying wipe off that I wasn't chasing too much product buildup.
Yeah.
There's something in it that kind of helps level it out.
There's some people out there who just get mad every time we talk about Bead Maker, but the reality is we like it because we find it sticks when others won't. Like it just seems to work. It's so versatile.
It's just versatile, man.
Yeah.
It's just nice.
Yeah. All right. Then I've got Nick over here, Stessman.
Nick, get out of my head. You can't be. You're not paying for rent in there. Buy the Krenzla, Anthony. It's such a wonderful experience.
Well,
I already know.
One voice is saying, Nick over here is saying buy the Krenzla. Then you got another voice saying buy the Roomba.
Yeah, I got.
Is there another voice, or is this a devil and an angel on your shoulder?
I tell my wife I've spent $2,000 today, and she goes, "We don't even have $2,000." I'm like, trust me, it's gonna be worth it. I found that $1,000, found another $1,000, right? And we're gonna make it happen. But no, the Krenzla.
It's a great day.
That's what we have here, and it is an amazing experience. I mean, the output of that little guy is extremely impressive. I mean, I'm blown away every time I use it. So while yes, I do love it, and I totally agree. I don't know. I probably have other priorities I need to do, and I don't know if I can sell that one to my wife. That purchase, we'll see.
DTNA. Down to North America. Any new products from the Rag Company introduced at SEMA not yet mentioned? Thanks.
Not yet. We're going to be doing some stuff here for TR SEMA, which is our.
I was going to say SEMA. We're kind of in the wrong part of the year. SEMA actually just happened a couple of months ago, but in this case, yeah. I mean, if you're talking about the upcoming one, yeah. No, we're not. We're not divulging anything.
We're not divulging anything, but it's going to be good. You guys are going to like it.
We do, as he said, TR SEMA, however you want to say it. Yeah,
you'll be happy.
We're going to have some cool stuff. Jamie, you rang. Then G. Davis. My first wife took the Roomba with her when she left me for the local Taekwondo instructor. I also said Taekwondo instructor. Is this the Foot Fist way? Is that what this is? I remember Danny McBride being a
did you know
instructor.
I took Taekwondo as a kid.
Oh, that's funny.
I did for I got to a blue belt.
Ooh, okay.
Blue belt. the funny thing is,
I
right?
always felt like the kids who stopped at Blue Belt were kind of like jerks for some reason. I just associated with those kids were jerks.
Yeah, so it was like what
That green belt.
I'm trying to think of the way it went. I think it was like white, then it was yellow, then it was green.
Well, yeah, when you
and
start,
then it
it's
was
white,
blue. Right? Yeah, but anyways, I got to the blue, right?
Okay.
I'm like a 12-year-old kid that gets to this blue belt, right?
Yeah.
I can't fight anything to save my life, right? I'm telling you, that did not make me. I had to learn all these weird things, poems and all sorts of stuff, right? And I said, all right, guys, so when do I get to start beating people with a stick? And they said, no, we're going to show you how to punch somebody. I said, okay, how do you do that? And they're like, palm out. You know, I'm like, that's not going to damage anybody, right? When I'm getting my ass kicked, in 7th grade, right? I'm just going to palm somebody? Guys, this isn't going to work for me, man.
I'm just going to say, I didn't take Taekwondo, but, there was a time where a kid was at the top of some stairs and he ended his time at the bottom of it. So,
man, too funny, man.
G. Davis, when I hear Faster Pussycat, I think of 80s metal music and Dane and the Jag outside the Spearmint Rhino. G. Davis, you paint images the way some artists. Just leave that blank. All right, so... we got Hansi. We got sirens going
Lee
on.
Marshall says top star or C-SPAN can be put after Polestar. Is that what he said? Pecans? Something
it looks like
that.
C-SPAN.
Oh, C-SPAN. All right, there you go.
Or CSP can be put on after Polestar. There you go. And Bill Pearson, are we going to dry Dane's car afterwards?
Absolutely not. We're using DI water. I'm going to let that dry itself and move on.
And I trust Anthony to, if something's wrong, I'm bringing it back tomorrow.
Worst case scenario, right? You grab a little FSC, give that thing a little wipe down, right? If there's any type of minerals left behind, I'll take care of it. We're good.
Good old spotless.
Only $400 on Black Friday for the Roomba? That cleans itself?
That's more than half off. If that's a $1,000 Roomba normally.
Bill,
are you sure we're talking about the same Roomba?
Bill, clarify on that. Self-cleaning Roomba for $400. I'll go buy the Roomba today.
We're going to need the model number to get it exactly right.
I'm going to run multiple Roombas.
You're like, all right, my house only has one story, but I'm going to get one for multiple floors anyway. Dude, you put it on the roof and you just have it like scare birds away and stuff.
All traveling in sync with each other. Right?
You just create like a little cavalry that plays a little horn as it goes from room to room. Scare the dogs.
Burglar breaks in my house. All Roombas like turn towards him. And he's like, you broke into the wrong house, dude.
Oh, you thought you could steal from this place? Think you can.
No, you have to escape.
Also, my owner knows Taekwondo up like halfay, but still, it counts.
He can palm you to death.
Look out. Yeah. Look out. Okay. Now that I'm done doing the Macarena, we got Mazzina here. New packaging looks great.
Yes, so the Talgus winner was announced on Instagram Live, and then we, at 1 p.m., like we announced, and we changed the verbiage on the post to show who won. So his name's Keanu, and he's based in Hawaii. Good
job, Keanu, for
Cameron's
being randomly selected.
Cameron's won enough stuff. Cameron, you won enough things. You don't need to win any more things.
Cameron, you had a good run.
Alex Carrillo, great question. And then next up, we've got Jamie the Cleaner says, raises his hand. I move for the uncensoring of one Mr. G. Davis for Dane. I'd probably read all of his comments going forward.
Trust me, I read them and I love them, but for the future posterity of the show, there are certain ones where I go, yeah, I can't put that into the record.
Uncensored.
Oh, man.
Ammo is too expensive, according to Jamie, and then
we go to page 1. We're finally to page 1. 10-1. Da Goat.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's about that dilution. Okay, Curly Wolf.
Thank you for the subscriber sale. I don't know what you're talking about, Curly Wolf. I can't wait for my order. That said, please do a compare and contrast for me between the Gauntlet, the Liquidator, and the Twistress. I'm assuming you want a video, but really, I mean, in a nutshell, the Gauntlet and Liquidator are going to be the most absorbent towels that we have at this point.
The Twistress is
At
simply
this
limited by size at that
Correct, yeah. So the Twistress, because of the size, because of the shorter nap of those twist loops, the Twistress is fantastic. I mean, it is still an insanely good towel.
The beauty behind it is that it's incredibly efficient at what it does. So
Yeah,
it can
for the
do a
size.
lot despite being a smaller towel.
Yeah, and the Twist and
towel,
Shout
relatively.
is kind of falling off to the wayside. Not that the Twist and Shout is a bad towel. It's just the Twist and Shout.
People forget because all the other, shiny, you know.
Yeah, the Liquidator definitely kind of overshadowed that, and but the Gauntlet, I mean, is still an amazing towel.
Yeah.
So at this point in time, Gauntlet, Liquidator are going to be two of our most absorbent towels at this time. At this time.
There you go. G. Davis. Oh,
Thank you, Jamie.
thank you, Jamie. And Jamie with the I got you, G. Well, that's adorable. Everybody teaming up against us.
It is.
Got Nick here. Matt Mormon having issues with the IK Foamer was the funniest thing ever. Watching his reaction was priceless. Honestly,
was a good time.
that is one of my favorite videos we've ever done. If you've never seen it and you want to blast from the past, from when we visited Matt's house back in Florida, that was a good time. He kind of misunderstood what the IK was really there for, and Anthony was there to be realistic and give realistic expectations as to how it's going to work out, and hilarity ensued.
I think, yeah, it was fun.
funny. And
good time.
Freddie appears at the beginning of the video for like 5 seconds, which is very funny, with
He's there to
Metal
hang
Gear
out.
Solid sound. So that's always great. We got Hans here. Apply C2V3 with an applicator and then buff off, or just spray and wipe. What methods would you use?
Spray and wipe. I just spray and wipe CTV3. You can do it with an applicator, but man, just spray and wipe that stuff.
You treat it the way you
Make
would
it-
another spray
yeah,
sealant. Just
make it easy on
keep it
yourself.
easy. We got G.
Just finished season 1 of The Boys on Prime.
No!
Dang, you remind me
No!
of Haley Joel. Which character is that?
There are 2 stages of Haley Joel Osment. When he was a kid in like the movie AI, and then modern day fat Haley Joel Osment, and those are the 2 most people
Which
think of.
character is that in The Boys?
So yeah, apparently I have the
Which
brown
character
happy
is that?
features.
I know the show. Which character?
Well, you know, like in Future Man, he's in that.
No,
Okay, so
I can't think of it off the top of my head.
I'll just pull up a picture later so you can see.
Oh,
but
man,
yeah,
that's too funny.
Yeah, Haley Joel Osment. Always great actor. Just
Oh,
in
I
some
know
respect.
exactly
Yeah,
who
yeah.
you're talking about.
Just
That's-
look at me and then think, he
That's
does
hilarious.
look like me a bit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wonder if he
Yeah.
still sees dead people.
There you go. Contribita. Larry is okay as a detailer. Nothing special with his methods or skills. I like his tools, though. Kevin Brown is the guy to follow and learn from. Oh, gosh. Now we got controversy.
Yeah, I don't
going.
want to dive
Oh,
into
gosh.
this.
Now we get into all these personal things.
Move on.
Not even.
Polestar dilution is best at 5-to-1 or 10-to-1 for leather. Yeah, you could do that. I mean, I've always been diluting the Polestar. When I don't dilute it, if I use it at full strength, you do get a little bit of I don't know what's it called. It's like residual stuff left, and especially in your hands. But yeah, no, that's a great way to use it.
All right. And then Contra with, he's my top 5 best detailing should have a product out there. You know what? Everybody can do their thing if they choose to.
Kevin Brown does have a product out there.
Yeah, well,
He's
yeah.
Buff Daddy.
Yeah.
He's got.
If you're not familiar with Buff Daddy, I imagine you would be if you know Kevin Brown.
I mean, he was doing spacers on the Rupes machines for such a long time. So check out Buff Daddy if you haven't already checked out Buff Daddy.
And sometimes just positing a guess here, when it comes to things like, oh, there's hype and everybody likes a thing, and therefore I'm going to not like that thing and be contrarian. I find anti-hype people to be as annoying as hype people. So if there's a middle ground there, or there's some understanding where it's like everything can be treated on its own merits, I appreciate that a lot more.
Correct.
Just saying.
It's the only thing. Well, I agree with you, Dane, on that. Except for the what's it called? What are those new things that people are buying? Those pictures online.
Oh, we're going to talk about NFTs here? Oh
but
my
that's
God,
the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
I cannot get behind that at all. It's hilarious.
It's just another crypto bro thing to do, but the reality is it's very wasteful.
Here is a picture of my
energy-wise.
cat from 2002, right? $50,000.
All right, moving on. Contrapita. Hans Closen, spray on your towel and second towel to dry. This will save you product. That's a totally fine way to do it. Then we've got Alex here with Canadian maple syrup is 10, wait, 20. I'll see myself out. Yeah, Alex. You should probably leave. Which is also a great show for anybody looking for some awkward comedy. I think you should leave. It's a great show. All right, moving along.
Guys, what would be the best way to use OptiSeal and Optimum Spray Wax?
Oh,
you
sorry.
totally went past that. Poor guy.
There
Sorry,
you
Phil.
go.
Apply the sealant first and the wax. Yeah, so you can do OptiSeal, and then maybe a couple weeks later, if you want to top it with the spray wax, you can. I wouldn't use them back to back. There's really no reason. But you can use the wax as just like a maintenance product if you want to do that. Or you can use either one on their own, and you can use both of them together, or you can use OptiSeal specifically, or just the spray wax specifically. Yeah. They're both such good products. I mean, you can't go wrong with either one.
And guys, gals, I know we've kind of gone a little over time here, but we will answer all the questions I have left on the screen here, so don't worry about that. We will get to you if your comment is currently sitting on my screen. If it's not, I'll make a judgment call at the end. All right, so we've got Sue here.
What towel can I use to apply paint gloss? A lot of people like the Eagle 350s, I mean the Dragos are great too. In terms of just overall feel, I mean the FTW is great. Really, you can use any towel you want, but I would say the Eagles seem to be one of the most popular for applying paint gloss.
Yeah. Sounds about right. Decon here, meet in the middle for the AR630, does more GPM and is $350 cheaper. I absolutely love mine. All right.
That's true. That's true. But the thing is, though, what I said at that point being like it's $350, right?
Yeah.
Am I $350 away from the dream, the GOAT?
Yeah, you could just have something pretty good, or it's fine, or you could have the ultimate.
Like that Krenzla, I would, the thing is because after my wife would find out about this, I would have to probably figure out.
At least convince her you got the best.
Well, I would figure out a way to, set up to where that Krenzla is going everywhere with me, right?
Oh, okay.
It's sleeping in bed with me. I'm using it for walks. I'm using it for many other different things. It's just.
She might feel like she's getting replaced with a pressure washer. And
she would say that she's like, you are replacing me with a pressure washer because that's what you chose.
Yeah, I'm going to say right now, you should probably just get the Roomba instead. Especially if it's on Black Friday sale or you find a leftover one that's like $400.
Like
I'm just saying. All right, Chris, my question is, how many spray seconds do you get with the IK Foamer Plus? Is it any different than the hand pressurized method?
I find that we get maybe a couple extra seconds in comparison to hand pumping.
The force is where it's different.
The force is where it's different. I mean, gosh, I'm telling you guys, once you get done pressurizing this and you go to hit that trigger, like the torque behind it, I mean, not torque is the right word, but just it's like bam.
It's got power off the line.
It's like power off the line.
Like an electric car, it's just like there's no
second
gap.
Your thumb hits that thing, it's like bam, bam, bam. It's sweet. Yeah. I love it.
Okay. I think
Hopefully,
that's
I don't know
fair.
if that answers your question, Chris. Whatever. Right. Moving on. We've got Phil Bloomer says, guys, what's the best way to decon a ceramic coated car? Say it has G-Technic CSL with XOV4. To decon, I use a decon soap. So, for example, you can use citrus wash from G-Technic, and you can use that at a very light dilution to do a pre-spray with foam. You can use something like Active Foam from Coach Chemi or Super Foam. It won't necessarily affect the coating, but it will help to break some of that down. And then I always recommend claying if you can. And for that, the Rag Company clay towel is going to be one of the finer clays that you can use that's not going to mar the crap out of your coating. So check out the Ultra Clay Towel.
All right. Hans simply saying Palma, Hundo, Anthony. Then Sue. Bam. Anthony needs MMA instruction. I feel like you would enjoy like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or like some Krav Maga.
I'm just not a fighter. I'm just one of those guys. I just try to intimidate people with my size.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm a hefty.
You look like you would have been a high school jock, and then you just kind of.
I'm a 240-pound, 50% Portuguese male is what I am, right?
The Portuguese helps you out.
The Portuguese thing helps, and I'm also being like 6'1", right? They don't expect that because they're like Portuguese people are relatively short. People watch a video,
they think you're shorter, and then they see you in person, they're like, oh.
When I have my Brooks on, I'm like 6'2", 6'3". It's nice.
There you go. Gee. I know more than you, Anthony, to Richard Simmons at Billy Blank's meet and greet. My goodness, I know more than you. Okay, Kyle Camus. Hello, guys. Hello, Kyle.
Come on, Kyle.
Jimmy. You can't end the podcast. I'm not done with the blue Camaro yet. Also, received my order from the secret sale. Thanks for the deals. Now,
Yeah.
for all these people who are talking about the secret thing that we obviously can't talk about, but we can tell you how to find out about future secret things. How do they find out about those, Anthony?
Sign up for the Rag Company newsletter called The Details at theragcompany.com. Go to the bottom of the page, sign up, input your email address, and enjoy all of the fruits of your very short labor there.
Also, very important, we don't spam you. I know people are always leery about, like, I don't want to put my email address out there. We don't send you something unless it's something you're actually going to want to see.
It's true. We don't run, and we don't run sales all the time,
Promise.
so just something to keep in mind.
It's not a constant stream. It's special when it happens. All right, Nick.
Pressure washer perfection, Anthony. You know you need it. I don't need it. I want it. I want it. But at the same time, though, I would have to revamp all of my stuff. The things I've done correctly. CR spotless, done that correctly, right? My stainless steel shelf, I've done that correctly, right? The only thing I saved money on was my fittings. All my fittings, running my hose in just from the outside into my garage. That's kind of not janky, but it's just how I do things. But my fittings definitely could use an upgrade. And then my pressure washer just not being a, I don't know, the Karcher Cube is fine. It's just, it's not the Krenzla, dude. The thing is just, I don't know.
You're going to use the Krenzla at work and you go home and you're like, I miss the Krenzla.
Dude, it's just freaking powerful for what it is. And the output's fantastic. But
it's a mighty mini. So, Kirby Thompson here.
Late to the Q&A, missing Anthony here at MTE. I know, man. Levi and Dwan did a superb presentation.
I am happy to hear that. That's great.
Yeah, I know. I wish I. Well, you didn't mention you, Dane.
No. See, I'm chopped liver over here. So you know what? If there's one consolation, I'm not the guy in the middle today.
I know. I think Levi's bummed that both.
help.
I think Levi's bummed that both of us aren't there, though. I think he wishes that we were there, but you know, it's. Hey, man.
Duty calls. All right, Jamie, we've got Hans can't wait to buy all the No Shirt Anthony NFTs, then proceed to sell them to Alex Dewar. That is going to create such unnecessary inflation. Possibly, well, it could cause a market crash. You got to look out for that. All right,
man.
So we're wrapping up here. We got just a couple of comments left. Curly will be the last one. We got GR here. Great idea. About to put a leash on my Krenzla and take it out in my afternoon walks. Well, you know, to each their own. Maybe put some wheels on it, some casters.
He's so funny. Yeah. Just have like a wedding with the Krenzla, right? You're just proposing to it.
Oh, man. Curly Wolf here. Just to back up what we said, it's true. TRC doesn't spam. Get the details.
Thanks,
Curly knows what's up. Curly saw the secret things, which if you sign up on our website, go down, enter your email at the newsletter, the details, and you won't regret it. You will find deals on things you didn't know possible.
True.
So that's really it, guys. Thank you to everybody who just watched, who just listened, and hopefully got the preview at the beginning of the show with all this IK Foam Pro 2 Plus goodness. And if you missed it, scroll back, watch it. You can do that anytime. Now, as everybody knows, this new policy for 2022 going forward, the Q&As have a permanent home over on the Rag Company podcast YouTube channel. So after a day or two of being here on our main channel, it's going to migrate over there. So if you want to watch it again, that's where you can find it. So make sure you subscribe to both so you don't miss it. That's all there is to it.
That's it.
All right, Anthony, anything you want to say before we go?
That's it, guys. Have a good one. Enjoy your weekend.
All right, take care, everybody. Have a great weekend.
See ya.